right, all right. Hey, what's going on here with, okay, so we are live on Facebook, I'm pretty sure, but for some reason, the button over here on YouTube is not working. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Yay, we're live. Is it lagged? There we go, there we go. Okay, something's wonky going on. Let's send some inner broadcast, you guys, so that it works. Will you guys comment on YouTube and let me know if you're seeing me or if I'm frozen on your end? Obviously, if I'm frozen, you won't be able to tell me that. But if you can see me, let me know, please, because it's frozen on my end. And welcome, welcome, those of you that are joining us on, there we go. Those of you that are joining us over on Facebook, okay, there we go, yay. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Diamond, thank you so much. Okay, y'all, let me get some of this oil off my face. So I look like I done put my face in a fish fry. So welcome you guys to Wednesday Live Empower Hour with me, Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting. I am a divine interpreter, psychic life coach, and mentor, assisting you with activating the divinity and wisdom within your soul so that you are empowered to create and live an abundant life. So I like to say, welcome again. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time joining, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And we go live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And for those of you that are a part of our community, our soul community, thank you so much for being here. So let's see who's on with us. We have Charmaine, who was first. Hey, Charmaine, so you get that card pull today. And then we have Lacey. Hi, Lacey. Yes, you can. You can. Several people, Lacey just said, I didn't know you could jump on early. So happy to be here. I'm happy to have you. So a lot of people will jump on early because the first person to join us on YouTube, I pull a single card for you and deliver a message from spirit. So if you happen to get on first and there's no one else on, make sure you comment first. So when I get on, I know who was actually first. And then I deliver the general message for us all. And then I do the $20 mini reads at the end. So let's see. Hi, Portia. Okay, awesome. You guys could see me because, yeah, it was like totally frozen. Oh, thank you so much, Lacey. Thank you. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? How are you? So let's see. And thank you, Diamond, for being over on Facebook, directing those that are joining us in the group to join us here on YouTube. And you guys, the reason I ask you to join us on YouTube is because I'm looking at the comments and you can actually be on the live chat, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with Charmaine's card. And Charmaine, I'm being told to pull from the surrender deck for you. So let's see, what message do you have for Charmaine, Spirit? What message do you have for Charmaine? Ooh, you know what, Charmaine? I pull cards for myself before I do any lives, before I do any sessions. And I actually got, this is one of my cards today too. And it says, surrender to the magic of who you are. It says, we all have magic in us, even if the mundane aspects of life, even in the mundane aspects of life, remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. Amazing, right? Amazing. So as I was reading this message, Spirit was having me remind you of how you perceived the response would be with what you have planned to do. And I'm speaking like this because it was discussed in our group session. So I'm keeping it, private unless you say, yeah, talk about it. And then what the outcome was, right? You shifted that energy, you sent energy to the situation, and you created the outcome that served your highest good and the highest good of your family. So what Spirit is reminding you is it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, who it involves. When you step into your power to create, you are able to shift, shape, and mold your life according to what brings you joy, what brings you peace, what brings balance. And Spirit is saying according to what serves your highest good, right? So as you're venturing into the next level of your journey, as you're venturing into the next level of your journey, not just your spiritual journey, but also your journey of motherhood, womanhood, wifehood, right? Friendshiphood, daughtershiphood, right? Remember that you are in control. You are the magic, right? I always say we don't practice magic. We are the magic. And so Spirit is reminding you to take control, grab life by the reins, and be in your power place and create. I heard create the hell out of that, SHIT. Okay, so that is your message, Charmaine. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, and let me know how it resonates, okay? So Charmaine said it's 10:33. I feel like there's hair on my lip. Hey, Pat, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday to you. So let's get started with our breathing, you guys. So what I'd like you to do is just inhale as slow and deep as you can through your nose and exhale as slow as comfortable through your mouth. And as you're inhaling, start your breath at your toes, right? And literally slowly bring the breath all the way up your body where you're hitting all your chakras, right? All the way up to your crown. When you get to the top, then bring it back down, doing the same thing, hitting every chakra, right? And as you're inhaling, breathe in love and light. And as you're exhaling, release all that's no longer serving you. I'll be sending you Reiki to your heart chakra and your solar plexus, but the energy is intelligent, so it will go wherever it serves your highest good to go. Also, if there's something specific that you're choosing to release right now, you can focus on that as you're exhaling, okay? So let's just go ahead and start with our breathing. Breathing in love and light, inhale through your nose. And releasing all that's no longer serving you, exhaling out through your mouth. And as you continue to breathe in love and light and continue to exhale what's no longer serving you, I call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, ascended masters, and helpful companions, all of highest light and love. I call on you now to fill this space. I call on you and I thank you for using me as a vessel of highest light and love so that I may deliver a message that serves the highest of those I'm called to serve today. I thank you for opening their hearts, their minds, and their spirits so that they may receive whatever serves them. I thank you, and so it is. So just continue to breathe, inhaling that love and light. And just allow yourself to relax, releasing all tension or all thought, all stress and all worry. And just allow yourself to surrender and be in flow with the will of the divine. As you continue to breathe in that love and light and continue to exhale what's no longer serving you, bring your attention to your crown chakra located at the top of your head. Giving your crown chakra permission to open. Opening your crown chakra now. And just allow yourself to feel that warm, loving, golden light of the divine pouring in through your crown. Feeling it travel down to your third eye. Extending out to your ear chakras. Feel that warm, loving light travel down to your throat chakra. Feeling more relaxed as it travels down to your heart chakra. Feeling that unconditional love as it travels down to your solar plexus. Traveling down to your sacral. Feel the divine's energy traveling down to your root. And just feel that energy as it travels down your thighs into your knees, in your legs and your calves, in your ankles and in your feet. And you may notice a tingling sensation in your feet. Just allow the energy to flow as the soles of your feet grow roots. Feel loved and supported as those roots burst out the soles of your feet, penetrating whatever surface your feet are resting on. And feel that energy as it travels down to Mother Earth, penetrating her core. Taking a moment to send gratitude, love, and healing to Mother Earth. And then bringing Mother Earth's divine, loving energy up through those roots. Feel it traveling up through the soles of your feet. Feeling it in your ankles, your legs, and your calves. Feel it as it travels up your knees and your thighs. Feeling it in your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, feeling it traveling up into your ear chakras and your third eye, and up and out your crown. Feeling more alert, more enlightened, more loved, and more at peace. Allowing Mother Earth's energy to travel up into the cosmos to your highest source of power. And just allowing the energy of Mother Earth and your highest source of power to combine together. Creating a beautiful dance, feeling that energy get stronger and stronger. Now feeling it traveling down back through your crown. And just feel that energy wash over your entire body, traveling throughout your entire cellular being. Loosening and releasing all that's no longer serving you. Setting the intention that for the rest of the day, with every inhale, you'll breathe in love and light. And every exhale, you'll release all that's not serving you. Release it with gratitude. Release it with love. Release it with peace and acceptance. And so it is. And when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. And if you feel more relaxed and better than you did before we did that quick grounding exercise, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and go ahead and let me know. Let me know how you're feeling. Being led to light a little Palo Santos today. We have our sage too, but Spirit is saying light a little Palo Santos. Bring in some of that high vibe, sweet energy. Okay. So how are you guys feeling right now? Let me know. Hey, Michonne, how are you? How are you? Hey, Sandra, welcome. Hi, Roz, welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl said, don't forget to like the live stream. Let's see. Roz said, hello, everyone. Switched over from Facebook to YouTube. So glad it's Wednesday again. I am so glad you came over. And if anyone's still over there on Facebook, come join in the live chat over here. Okay. Hi, Devette. Welcome. Awesome. I actually sell Palo Santos. I sell sage. I sell bath salts, sacred bath salts. So if you're interested, you can get them from me. So yeah, or I don't know if we're connected on Facebook or not, but the fact that you're in Knoxville too, that's awesome. So, okay, let's go ahead and see what message Spirit has in store for us. Take that one. Awesome. So yeah, just connect with me and we'll go ahead and get your order in. Hi, Naya, how are you? Oh my goodness, are these all for us? If you guys could see how these cards just flew out and how they laid themselves out. So we're going with it because Spirit don't make no mistake. And there are no coincidences. Okay. So are we doing any others? Okay. Woo, we got a whole lot of surrender cards, you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay, and take that one too. Awesome. And this one. All right. Ooh, I like it a lot. So we got a lot of cards, you guys, a lot, because Spirit is telling me to pull from the butterfly deck too. Okay. Awesome. Ooh, look at that. And Spirit said that's the last one. Okay, so the first card we got is Surrender Procrastination. Surrender Procrastination. It says, now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And as I was looking at this card, what I was receiving from Spirit, I was hearing step into the light, Carolyn, right? But what Spirit was saying is, it's time for you to stop procrastinating, going into the next level of your journey. Right? If you've received guidance, whether it is creating a project, whether it's walking away from a project, whether it is your healing journey, whether it's ending a relationship or starting one, whatever the case may be, Spirit is saying to stop procrastinating. Now, for some, procrastinating is inclusive of just, day-to-day tasks. It could be cleaning your space, right? Because clutter is preventing that chi, that life force energy from flowing in your space, which is also hindering it from flowing through you, right? But Spirit is speaking a little more in depth about your procrastination. And what I'm receiving is it's happening out of fear, whether it's fear of the unknown, it's happening out of fear of lack, right? Being afraid of lack. And what you're doing is you're creating more lack. So Spirit is telling you that what's on the other side is what you create, right? What's on the other side is what you create. So many people fear the unknown, but nothing is ever really unknown when we're creating. So Spirit is reminding you to release the fear, release the stagnation, and to get in your creator mode and create what it is you're choosing. Literally the term wasting valuable time is coming through. And whenever the guides say things like that, they always have me stress, there is no such thing as wasted time, right? But what Spirit is saying is if you're listening to this message, the reason they're using that terminology is because you're ready, right? You're ready. So you've learned your lessons, you've elevated yourself, and now you're just kind of like this. Where do I go? And Spirit's like, we've been guiding you. We've been guiding you. Just step out on faith, right? Step out on faith. We've often heard that saying, when you jump, the net will appear. Well, when you jump, your wings will appear, right? And when you jump based on that guidance you receive, you're going to soar to whatever that next level is for you. And it's a process of each time you're guided, stepping out, jumping, your wings appearing, right? Bigger, brighter, and more vibrant. And then you're soaring to the next level. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Okay, is it stopping for everyone? Hi, Talina. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I believe this is your first time joining us over here. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. So let's see. Charmaine said, yes, surrender has been huge lately. Oh my goodness. You know what? Thank you for saying that. Because I know for me, it just came up in the sauna. After my workout, I usually meditate in the sauna. And oftentimes when I'm meditating, I'm like, my brain will start off as like thinking about work stuff and family stuff and life stuff, right? And it'll take a little bit for me to come to center. And Spirit was like, surrender, just surrender. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm surrendering today. We're just going to be totally still today, right? So that was actually a personal message for me today too, to just surrender, just flow with the breath, right? So we also have surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths and attractiveness and power. This is huge. This is huge, right? Because oftentimes as human beings, we are comparing ourselves to others. Why do we do this? Because we've been trained to do this, right? There's this model or this formula of what success looks like, of what happiness looks like, of what peace looks like. And all of those formulas are not designed for every individual, right? It's someone's perception of what those things are. So it's like attempting to put a circle in a square peg. If we are attempting to live up to the standards of someone else, as opposed to the standards of our soul, we're always going to feel like we fall short, right? We're always going to feel that way. So Spirit is telling you, you are divinely created. You are unique in your existence, and your energy, your presence is valuable. No one can do what you do like you do it. We've had this talk before. There can be a million people doing exactly what I'm doing. There can be a million people that get these exact same cards, but they are not going to deliver the message the way I deliver it. Why? Because I am here to serve specific souls, just like you, right? You're here for a specific purpose, to reach a specific group, right? To touch specific souls. So it doesn't matter what I say or how I say it, I'm not going to reach those that you're here to reach. So Spirit is saying, when we're spending time comparing ourselves, right? That actually creates more procrastination, because we're so busy attempting to live up to those standards that we forget to just be in our own lane and in our own zone and create the magic that we're here to create. So I'm being told to tell you to step away from comparison, right? If you're someone that's embarking on a venture of any kind, right? Step away. Like step away, shut everyone out. When I first was led to do this work, right? And I was creating my programs and I was, doing all of this, I literally disconnected from anyone that was doing similar work. I was choosing to not be influenced by them at all. Now, of course, the things that we do, the things that we teach, they're recycled from lifetime to lifetime, century after century. So mostly all of what we teach, it's been done, it's been said in many different ways, right? But what I'm being told to tell you is step away from other influencers, right? So your soul and spirit can be your soul influence, right? And then after you've got your structure, and this doesn't just apply to business, this applies to life in general, right? After you've got your structure from your soul and from the divine, then reconnect with those that you look up to or those that you admire or those that you follow, right? So it's really important that we stop comparing ourselves because it creates depression, it creates stagnation, it creates lack, right? Right? It's time to surrender to your soul is what I'm receiving. So let's see what you're saying. Awesome. Thank you so much, Charmaine. So let's see, were you? Okay. Hey, Phyllis, welcome, welcome. Let's see. How is it now, Michonne? Is it still Michonne, is it still stopping? Pat said, OMG, Nahkila, spirit just coming out the box slamming today. And so it is. And so it is. Phyllis says, sent payment sis to PayPal for reading, just letting you know. Thank you so much, Phyllis. You'll be first. And if there's any moderators on, will you keep track of who the order of the readings? So Phyllis, you're first. Charmaine, you're second. Thank you so much. And Cheryl said, and you do it well too, Nahkila. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Cheryl. Phyllis said, I am divine. Yes, you are. Yes. Hey, Shamika, welcome. Welcome, sister. How are you? So let's go ahead and go on to the next card. Now, this one came in reverse. It came in reverse. And usually when it's in reverse, Spirit is saying, pay some extra attention here. This is an area we're really called to focus on, right? So it says, surrender your attachment to results. Wow. Right? We've talked about this before. I surrender all attachment to the outcome, right? So it says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So here's the thing. We are being called to attract, not chase, right? Attract, not chase. Draw in, not chase. Anything we chase, it runs. It's just the law of nature. When you chase something, it runs, right? So what Spirit is telling us is when we're holding on to the attachment to the outcome, what we're really saying is, I don't trust in my worthiness to receive this. I don't trust in the divine to provide this, right? I don't trust in myself to follow the guidance I'm receiving that is going to lead me into attracting whatever I'm choosing, right? So we're just bubbling up in this pool of lack, and lack attracts more lack. Lack creates more lack. So what Spirit is saying is we set it and we forget it. That's our forever thing. We set it and we forget it, right? We put the energy in. We first decide clearly what we're choosing, right? We make it very clear, very plain, and we leave that room for Spirit to give us more, because we don't know all that we deserve, but Spirit does, right? We have this small little view of what we deserve. So we leave that space. After we make it clear, we make it plain, we put the energy in to create it, manifest it, attract it, draw it in, right? And then we release it. We release it and we trust. And we just go on about our life being guided into what we're here to do, right? So Spirit is telling you that some of us are still in that, are we there yet? Are we there yet mode? And it's slowing you down. It's hindering your growth. It's time to let it go, right? Ask yourself, am I worthy? Am I worthy of greatness? Am I worthy to receive blessings? Am I worthy of the best, right? And if the answer is yes, then act accordingly. Act as if. If the answer is, and be real with yourself. You may not just ask yourself, because the natural response, some of us will be honest with ourselves because we have that awareness and we'll say, not really. But a lot of times we don't have that full awareness that we're lacking in the self-worth department. So what you do is you ask your soul, right? You Put those hands on your solar plexus. You go ahead and I'll show you where the solar plexus is in case. Put your hands right there on the solar plexus. Take those slow, deep breaths. Connect with your soul and ask the question, do I feel worthy? Do I feel worthy? Without thought or without judgment, just wait for the answer, right? And if you don't feel worthy, it's time to heal those places within that create that feeling of unworthiness, right? Because a lot of our lack mindset stems from our inability to see, feel, and believe in our worth. That's where it stems from, right? So it's about us seeing ourselves as the divine sees us, which is divine beings, right? And it doesn't get no worthier than that. So our next card is surrender to your soul's path. Let's see what you're saying. So Phyllis said, or Cheryl said, basically believe and have faith. Yes, and so it is. Pat said, okay, so we take action and let go and let spirit do the rest. Yes and no, right? Yes and no. So let spirit do the rest is you not worrying, stressing, constantly checking, right? But there are action steps that spirit will guide you into doing. And that's where we get caught up a lot of times, right? We'll say, okay, spirit, this is what I'm choosing. This is what I'm creating. This is what I'm attracting. This is what I'm manifesting, right? Come through, spirit. This is me telling spirit, come through, spirit. Make it happen, Captain. We got this. I know you got me, right? So oftentimes, if we have that mindset of we just let spirit do the rest and we're receiving guidance, but then we're afraid, so we don't move, right? Or we're overthinking, so we don't move. That's a part of spirit delivering what we just said we're choosing to attract. But if we don't have the courage and the faith, that unwavering faith to take action and step out when we're told to step out, that's where the breakdown is, right? So we don't just sit back like, all right, I done put the energy in. Now I'm just going to rest on my laurels and just wait, right? Because there's action. Spirit is always guiding us, always guiding us. And when we speak it and we send that vibration, everything we're guided to do, we're called to trust, know, and believe that that's spirit guiding us towards what we're choosing, right? So that's yes and no, right? Yeah, you do. You sit back, you let spirit do the rest, and part of that rest is your guidance, right? So Phyllis said, attract, not chase. That's powerful. And so it is. And so it is. Charmaine said, movement is stillness. Movement in stillness. Yes, movement and stillness. So I'm glad you brought that up. We're just going to put this card down for a little bit because I just did the video yesterday for Tuesday Tips and Tools on the ascension symptoms, right? So there's another part of the cycle of awakening and ascending, right? Let's just say ascending, because once we awake, we're awake and we're just ascending, to new levels, right? So the other part of our journey is there are times where everything is happening on the surface. We can see it. We can feel it. It's apparent. Like all of our work that we put into our healing, our growth, our development, right? Our serving, like we're seeing it and we're having tangible benefits that we're reaping, right? But then there's those moments where everything feels still, right? We're no longer receiving things that we can identify as receiving, right? We're no longer in this energy of everything's bubbling up and moving, right? At times it's very, very still. And sometimes we go into, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret, right? We go into that mode, right? We go into panic mode. We go into, well, there's nothing happening, so let me, right? And this is when spirit is testing us as spirit is working on our behalf below the surface. Now, every time this topic comes up, the example that spirit uses is the ocean, right? There are times when the ocean is so calm, right? And it's so calm. And aside from the waves gently moving, it's almost still. But underneath that ocean, on the ocean floor and beyond, from the surface to the floor, there's so much going on. So spirit is always working on our behalf, and it's up to us how we deal with every part of our cycles, right? We're either going to surrender, trust, release all attachment to the outcome, and flow in each phase, or we're going to doubt and stress and worry and then push down even further what was making its way up to us, right? So Spirit is saying it's time for us to trust throughout all of our cycles, all of our phases. And once you set that intention and you do the work, just set it and forget it. Just know that even when it feels still, there's still movement. Spirit is still working on your behalf, and you are still being served in the realm of spirit. Okay. So let's see. Thank you so much, Charmaine, for saying that. Shamika said, choosing to stop comparing because there is only one me that can do what I'm called to do, whatever that is. I can be nobody but me. Thanks for the message coming through. You are so welcome, and so it is. Phyllis said, that's deep. Phyllis said, please don't forget to hit the like button and then subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for viewing. Please remain respectful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Phyllis. Thank you. So we have surrender to your soul's path. Ooh. It says, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Okay, did y'all hear what just came through for us? Did we hear that? Let's read this one more time, one more again. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. Embrace every lesson and every moment. And Spirit is saying to add with gratitude, right? With gratitude. So we've had this talk before, right? We've had the talk before of how most of us light workers, we've had these traumatic pasts as children and past lives and, until we heal, basically, right? And so it can sometimes be difficult for us to look at those traumatic experiences and say, everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. And I release the trauma associated with this with gratitude, right? Sometimes that can be tough, but Spirit is telling us not only are we called to stop procrastinating, surrender, trust, and have faith, take action, right? And surrender the attachment to the outcome. But we're also called to understand that there is nothing that we have experienced. There is nothing that we have not experienced. There is nothing that has happened or has not happened in our lives that does not serve our highest good. Now, when we are existing in the vibrational frequency that differs from that fact, then we go into highs and then we go into lows, right? Our vibration is here and then it's there, right? When we're looking at things as happening to us and not for us, we're taking ourselves out of our place of power, right? Which disengages our ability to not only connect deeper with Spirit and trust Spirit even more, but our ability to create, to attract, and to flow in our manifestations, right? So Spirit is telling us it's time for us to surrender to our soul's path. Everything that you have experienced, you agreed to. You agreed to. Why? Because you came here to evolve as a soul so that you could help others that are choosing to evolve do the same, right? So everything that has happened and will happen in your life serves your highest good. So realistically, tell me how tough or how easy accepting that with everything feels to you right now. Like, and just be open with yourself. Like, how either easy or tough does that feel to say, literally, everything that happens in my life serves my highest good? I'm going to tell you what it does for me, living by that belief, right? It allows me to maintain my elevated state vibrationally, even when things aren't going the way I might have preferred them to go, right? Even when there's pain, right? When there's pain. Now, we're not saying that we don't have human feelings that we're not going to feel, because we do and we will. But that time of being in that slump, that time of being in that pain, that time of being out of my vibrational element that I choose to be in, it gets less and less, right? Because I understand that I'm on the ground level, right, of the forest, but Spirit is above the trees and can see everything. So what I may be experiencing in that moment is I'm cold. I like heat. Oh my goodness, that fire didn't start. Now I'm feeling some kind of way. Well, little did I know there was a wind coming, and if that fire had started, it would have burned the whole forest with me in it, right? But Spirit knew. See? So it may feel like suffering in the moment, but in reality, it's serving a greater purpose. And when I can accept that even though I didn't get what I was choosing in that moment, ultimately I'm getting what I was choosing, right? Because Spirit heard me when I said, Spirit, I'm attracting whatever was at the end of that forest, right? And this is what I'm choosing. So the steps along the way may be different than what I anticipate or believe them to be or should be, right? And I use air quotes because should is lack, right? But oftentimes we have this woulda, coulda, shoulda mentality, and Spirit is saying, release it, just surrender, right? So let's see what you all are saying. Cheryl said, and it all will fall into place at the right time. Yes, divine timing is huge, you know? So I'm going to share something with you all. So I reconnected with my twin flame. We met in 2005, right? And it was literally our reconnection that prompted me to move to Tennessee, right? I'm thinking, just wait 3 years is what I'm saying. Just wait 3 years, because my younger son at the time, 3 years, he would have been grown, right? And my twin's like, a lot can happen in 3 years. So I'm just like, okay. And then Spirit said, why are you living in fear, right? Go ahead and move in a year. So I'm like, all right, Spirit, we gonna do this. We manifesting what it takes to move, right? We're manifesting what it takes to move. And so I moved. This month will be a year. So here's the thing. My twin and I are not on the same level of our spiritual journey, our spiritual awakening, right? And the human part of me that loves him so much, enjoys his energy so much, is just ready for us to be in the vibrational frequency that Spirit has already told me we're moving into, creating the things we're called to create together, right? But you know what I said to myself? If it hasn't happened, it's because it's not the right time, right? Would I rather have what I'm choosing in the moment and have it not work or have it not last or have it not serve my highest good? Or would I rather be patient and allow things to unfold according to divine timing? Now, of course, the human part of me is ready to let the world know, like, yeah, it's me and you, boo, right? But then that enlightened part of me is like, it's already happening. He's already mine. I'm already his. And when it's divine timing, everything will come together and the bigger picture will be formed, right? So this is how we're called to look at life, right? Would I rather have what I'm choosing right now, even if it doesn't serve me in the long run? Or would I rather surrender and allow Spirit to work the magic and make all the things that I'm choosing come together, right? In a way that will set me up for that spiritual elevation, that spiritual growth, right? And that will set me up to answer my soul's calling, right? So yeah, that's what we're being called to ask ourselves. So let's see. Phyllis said, woo, that's heavy. Wow. Why do I make the voice so animated? Like that's really how y'all be talking. Cheryl said, it trips me out when I hear we all choose our life circumstances. Thank you for bringing that up because this came through and then more came through and I dropped it. So one of the things that Spirit has led me to know, the big mystery is what is deja vu? What creates deja vu, right? And so one day Spirit told me, Spirit said that was you remembering, you're having glimpses of the memory of when you saw your entire life, right? So we choose this life. I chose this life. My soul said yes to all the pain, all the trauma, all the disappointment, all the hurts, right? So that I could do what as a soul I was choosing to do, which was to help shift the collective consciousness of humanity. So more souls could awaken and evolve. So before I can agree to something, it's like a contract. We have soul contracts. I can't agree to something if I don't know what I'm getting into. So we see our entire lives before we say yes to enter this form and to serve this lifetime, right? So then we come and we're born with spiritual amnesia. And then every now and then we'll be like, dang, this has happened before. Well, it's not so much that it's happened before, it's just you saw it before when you agreed to it, right? So deja vu. It's you have a memory of what you saw before you agreed to do this work, to live this life. So we got surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Ooh, Spirit brought this up a little earlier, right? So here's the thing. As we embark on our journeys, right? And as we go deeper into our awakening, deeper into our enlightenment, sometimes the people that were there with us no longer resonate with us, right? But I love them. But they need me. But I need them, right? But I want this to work, right? And I'm using air quotes for all the lack words, right? But what Spirit is telling us, it's time for us to surrender, right? Surrender the attachment to all outcomes. Sometimes people are brought in our lives just to serve a specific purpose, and that purpose may not last a lifetime, right? Sometimes a person's energy can be so toxic that no matter how much we attempt or we choose to rise, they tend to pull us back down, right? Or we're rising, but they're a weight and it's keeping us right here at this level, right? So Spirit is telling us, if we trust in the divine and we trust that Spirit has us and we trust in our worthiness, then anything that we're called to release or let go of will be replaced with more, with better, with bigger, with whatever serves our highest good, right? So I'm being told to share this with you too. So in 2014, I got married for the second time, right? Now, this relationship was a part of my spiritual bottom, right? I'm so grateful for that marriage. I'm grateful for both my marriages. I'm grateful for all my relationships. I'm grateful for all my life, right? But particularly this relationship was the most taxing on my soul, right? And what made it so tough to let go was because I felt his soul. I saw his soul before his traumas, before his anger, before his pain. And he wasn't a bad soul, right? He wasn't. He had just given up. His soul, he had given up, right? So he just surrendered to the cards he was dealt. And he wasn't willing to heal. And he wasn't willing to do the work, right? So Spirit said, you'll serve him better on the capacity of not being his wife. And I attempted to be Diddy. I attempted to remix it, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, right? We had broke up, but I was still there for him. I was still his friend. You know, his daughter came to visit, still my bonus daughter, came to visit. I let them come and stay, you know. They had the dining area on an air mattress, the two of them, you know, and I was still there, basically saving him from his own soul's lessons, his own soul's journey. And then eventually Spirit spoke again and said, it's time to let it go completely. Let it go. Not only are you hindering his growth, but you're making it tougher for you to stay elevated vibrationally, right? But the human part of me was like, oh, if only. And this wasn't for me because I had already released the fact of us, you know, that was been gone. But it was more one soul to another, right? And eventually I let it go. And when I did, I elevated, right? I elevated. So Spirit is telling us at times, it doesn't matter what you see in a person, what you feel in a person, what you like to be in a person. When Spirit is guiding you to let it go, it's time. And if it feels toxic, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? And we choosing nothing but positive flow in our lives, right? At this point. So, yeah. So let's see what you're saying. Hey, TK, how are you? How are you? You are right on time always. Everything is according to divine timing and everything is as it is called to be. We don't do late or early here. We just is. So let's see. Phyllis said, wow, thanks sis for breaking that down like that. You are so welcome. So welcome. And TK said, hey, soul fam. Phyllis said, I will allow Spirit to do without putting my 2 cents in. Girl, I'm Capricorn and we try to push things LOL. So you know what? Here's the thing that brings a lot of comfort and joy when we're in that phase of surrender and trust, not necessarily coming like second nature, right? What allowed me to be more in that space in the beginning was understanding and knowing that Spirit is responding to what I chose before trauma became a factor, pain became a factor, disappointment became a factor, right? And we've talked about this before. So when I allow spirit to guide me, or we talk about surrendering to the will of the divine, right? Surrendering to the will of God, whatever you refer to your highest source of power as, the universe, whatever, right? Allah, whatever. But when we surrender to that highest source of power, to the will of the divine, what we're actually doing is surrendering to our will, right? We have freedom of choice, right? So it's like if you were making, let's just say what Spirit's saying is to use this as an example. If you had water, drinking water, right? It was super pure. It was super, nourishing to your soul, and you're thirsty and you go and you drink that water, right? And then you get quenched and you're feeling good. And so you're like, okay, fill me up, give me more, right? And then you go somewhere and somebody starts talking about, but you know what? If you add all this salt to this water, ooh-wee. So then you pour a bucket of salt in your water. And you're like, but I'd like to be having my thirst quenched. So I'm going to drink this salty water. And then Spirit is like, no, you're not, knocks it out of your hand. And now you're thinking, well, wait, I was asking for water for my thirst to be quenched, and I'm choosing water. And then Spirit is like, okay, look, if you go up that hill, it's a steep hill, so go ahead and climb. Don't give up. Keep going. No matter how thirsty you feel, no matter how tired you get, just keep going. Keep going. Now you're going, and then Spirit goes, okay, turn left. You can either stand there and be like, but wait, Spirit, it looks like there's some water over there. I can see it. So I'm thinking about going right? You go right, and then you find out there's a ditch, right? You fall in the ditch, you don't get to the water, you die. I'm being real dramatic, right? But then Spirit says, go to the left. So you decide, I'm going to surrender trust. I'm going to go to the left. And then you get to this endless supply of natural spring water, right? So that salt is trauma. That salt is influence of others, right? It's not going to quench our thirst. It's really not, but Spirit knows your original intent was to have your thirst quenched. So it just requires us letting go of what we're already holding, right? Let it go. Let go what we're holding. Sometimes it's our thought. What we're holding sometimes it's our belief. What we're holding sometimes is our perception. What we're holding sometimes is the influence of our family, friends, society as a whole, right? But when we can let that go and surrender, when we allow ourselves to just be an open vessel, because we trust and know my original intent, Spirit heard. And no matter what has occurred since then, Spirit is still directing me to have my original intent fulfilled, right? So that has always helped me to surrender, right? Because I know I'm a human being, right? I am the divine having a human experience, but I am a human being. So yes, I've been influenced by trauma. Yes, I've been influenced by pain, disappointments, family, friends, society, right? Experiences, right? But Spirit knows my heart. Spirit knows my soul. Spirit knows my desires. Spirit knows my intentions. And Spirit knows what serves my highest good, right? So we have surrender to defensiveness. Let's see what you all are saying before we move on. Let's see. TK says, stop telling my business, Spirit. Let's see. Phyllis said, oh, wait. Okay, let's see. Sis, why do we as spiritual women attract broken men? Because I noticed that with myself. Okay, so listen, the short, sweet answer is we attract who we are, right? We attract our vibrational match, right? So if we are attracting those men that are vibrating lower, it's because we're vibrating lower, right? It's because we believe that's what we deserve. They reflect how we treat ourselves. So, right? My past marriages, same soul, different body, right? Repetitive cycle. Because I was still vibrating at the frequency of my newfound belief in myself, my worthiness, and the world in general as a result of my trauma. It wasn't until I healed my trauma at the root from an unconscious level, an energetic level, a spiritual level, that I was able to attract different, right? Because anything we attract, they're mirroring us, right? Like attracts like. So if you find yourself attracting Men that are not up to par, it's time to look at how you're showing up for self. And it's time to heal those areas within, right? So once I did my healing, oh my, I couldn't be in that situation. I just couldn't. Energetically, it was impossible. I've shared this before, how when I was on my journey and I was, awakening and I was healing, I would literally spend 6 to 7 hours in a sacred bath. That is not an exaggeration. When the water got cold, I would run hot water again. Why? Because it was so toxic. The energy was so draining. It was such a heavy weight that was my way of staying in my peace, right? Until I decided to leave. So if you find yourself attracting significant others that are not up to par, or that are not what you know you deserve and what you're truly desiring, it's time to shift inside, right? So surrender defensiveness. And that's a great question. It says defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Okay, so as I'm reading that, the message is already coming through. What Spirit is saying is, surrendering to defensiveness, right, does not mean you stay and endure toxic treatment, right? What Spirit is saying is open your soul to okay, we're going to say what was just coming through. Open your soul to believe. That's what was coming through. So that's what I'm going to say. Open your soul to believe, right? Now, why did believe come through? Because if you believe that you are worthy and you believe that you are deserving of all things good and great, then you will have no room for being defensive, right? You'll have no room for defense. Why? Because it doesn't matter what a person says, what a person does, how they approach you. You know that if they are not approaching you energetically as a match to your vibration, that is not about you, right? And you're beyond internalizing things that have nothing to do with you. The only time we're internalizing these days is what Spirit gives us to internalize, right? If Spirit don't say this is for you to ingest and take in, we're going to leave it right there, right? Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Now, peace be with you. Love and light, right? We're going to let it go, right? Also, what we're being called to do is have compassion, right? For people that would usually trigger defensiveness in us. Now, I'm going to tell you, y'all, because we transparent and Spirit's telling me to talk about it. Right now, I'm dealing with a situation where there's not much flow. The other person ain't willing to compromise and bend and flow, right? And I'm used to flow, and I'm used to me compromising and having there be some sort of like attract like and same, right? And so I find myself frustrated, right? But you know what? Frustration, it's a normal part of being human. But what I refuse to be is defensive. Because when I'm defensive, then nobody can be heard. No one can be felt, right? No one. So what we're being called to do when we're in that energy where it's not vibing or it's not gelling, right? We're being called to ask Spirit, what is the lesson here? Why is this person showing up in my life? What are they teaching me? Does it serve my highest good to stay in this connection, right? And why am I here? What am I serving in their life, right? And when we get those answers from Spirit, we act accordingly, right? So I got to a point where I've had it up to beyond here, right? And I'm thinking, it's time for me to just throw in the deuces, throw in the towel and be out. But I said, Spirit, is that what I'm called to do? And Spirit said, no, you're just called to be patient, and you're just called to do you, how you do you, right? You don't have to bend and fold because the request is made for you to do so, right? If it's not working for you, you be you, do you. Because in that action, you're teaching a lesson, right? And my big lesson, my lifetime lesson has been patience. It has been. So what happens once I master patience in this area? Spirit brings me another area. Spirit is like, okay, so you said you're choosing to be great. You said you're choosing to be the best version of yourself, but you got patience down over here. Let's see how patient you are over here, right? So now we're going to throw in this test. Oh, you passed it. Now you move to the next level, because I can't be the best version of myself if I have no patience, right? So understanding that defensiveness comes from a place of lack, right? It comes from a place of giving our power away, right? That's where it comes from. So Spirit is saying, be in your power at all times and don't allow someone else to alter how you show up in the world, right? Nobody deserves to have that much power except for you. So take your power back, release the defensiveness, and allow yourself to learn the lesson. Oftentimes, we're so caught up in the moment that we forget to ask that simple question: Spirit, what are they teaching me? What is this showing me? What is this growing in me? Right? And then when we get that, we can be grateful. Yesterday, I wasn't feeling too grateful. Yesterday, I was ready to, read a person from A to Z and be done. But today, I'm glad that I wait for Spirit, right? Today, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because somebody's got to show up as the villain so you can learn your lessons. Remember, everything that happens in our lives serves our highest good. So instead of being defensive and angry, I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful. Now our vibrational frequency is intact and we still in our power. And look at that. Solar plexus coming through big time. Also, what we're being called to do is have compassion, right? Because when someone shows up in a certain way, it's because they have yet to heal the areas within that create that low vibrating energy, right? And so we are being called to stand at a higher vantage point and be who we agreed to be, right? Spirit just says somebody's got to do it. We can't both be defensive, vibrating in the valley, right? So let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Phoenix, welcome, welcome, welcome. Phoenix said, this is awesome that I will enter right here. Divine timing indeed. And so it is. We were talking about divine timing too, a little bit before. Phyllis said, exactly. Let's see. Phyllis said, boom. Cheryl said, no, boo, I thought you and Pat were leaving. Phyllis says, solar plexus. Yes. Now look what we got. We got fairies and earth magic. Fairies and earth magic. And I'm being told to read from the book for this. I was like, wait, what deck is that? I almost forgot. So, and then I'll give you whatever I receive. Spirit just said there's magic beneath your feet. Magic beneath your feet. Imagine that with every step you take, you're stepping on magic, right? When you think in terms of the grass, that's magic. When you think in terms of the dirt, that's magic. When you step in the ocean or in the lake and your feet are planted on the floor of the ocean, that's magic. When you hug a tree, that's magic, right? When you feel the rain, that's magic. When you feel the sun, that's magic. When you see the glow of the moon, that is magic, right? And everything that is existing on this earth exists within you, right? You are magic. You are magic. Be your magical self. Quit playing small. So let's see what Spirit's got for us. Okay, it says fairies, earth magic. Fairies are nature spirits thought to be descended from the early. Okay, listen, I'm reading like hooked on phonics work for me. So let me just breathe. Okay. So it says fairies are nature spirits thought to be descended from the early tribes, particularly the Tuatha De Danann, those associated with the goddess Dana, who once ruled Ireland, that inhabited the British Isles. Over time, these ancient people were conquered and displaced, and they fled to areas where humans didn't venture, ultimately becoming increasingly smaller and less visible in order to better hide themselves. Fairies have assumed responsibility for the plants and trees, or standing ones. They work with earth magic to take care of these beings, and if you ask, they'll help you with your garden or yard. They also have the power of enchantment and shape-shifting. Fairies appreciate it when you show them through our actions that we love the earth as much as they do. And consequently, they bestow a little more of their earth magic upon us. You have the same power available to you as the fairies do. It starts with loving the earth through your heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. But more important, throughout your actions, The fairies can help you reconnect in a more intimate way with the earth, and all they require is your willingness to pay attention to the trees and plant life around you and demonstrate your care. Whether you live in a small space or have an expansive land, make it a point to be especially attentive to your surrounding vegetation. Plant something, get your hands in the dirt, and do so with love and enthusiasm. Every flower, tree, or shrub you are tending is a living being, so treat each like you would a dear friend. Ask the fairies to help you take care of these friends, and you will be rewarded many times over. So, as I was reading that, there was a couple of things that was coming through, right? I just looked over at two of my plants over there, my first two that I bought since I moved here. So what I was receiving as I was reading that is, number one, it's time for us to spend more time in nature, right? It's time for us to spend more time in nature. It's time for us to share more gratitude with all the magic that surrounds us, dealing with Mother Earth and her beautiful growth and vegetation and all the things that are nature. Also, what's coming through is it's time for us to start planting our own food, right? If you got a backyard, if you got a patio, if you've got a balcony, start with something that you eat all the time, something that's easy to maintain. And if you are an advanced gardener, Spirit is saying it's time for you to plant more, right? Also, what Spirit is telling us is it's time for us to really connect with the earth, like the dirt, like literally go someplace, whether it's in your garden, whether it's you planting this patio garden, whatever the case may be, and put your hands in the earth, right? And just connect and send that vibration of growth. Now, here's the other thing. When we think in terms of our bodies and our journeys, right? When we think in terms of how we grow, remember Spirit's given us that example of how the seeds are planted, right? So as you're tending to your plants or you're tending to your garden, what you're being called to do is connect that to you tending to your own spiritual growth and development, right? So each time that you're giving love to that vegetation or love to the earth and love to the growth of those plants, see that as you giving that to yourself, right? Connect the two. Now, the reason I was looking at my plants is because back in the day, the only plants I could keep alive were bamboo plants, right? Only plants I could keep alive. But then when I went through my healing and when I shifted my vibrational frequency and I started loving my plants, talking to my plants, nurturing my plants, they're growing, right? They're growing. They alive, y'all. They alive. So Spirit is telling us with that sometimes we're being required, or it's required, we're being called to talk to ourselves in a loving way, right? Nurture ourselves, caress ourselves, right? And really be patient with ourselves. If you have a plant, right? Just a regular house plant, you don't look at that plant like, have you sprouted a new leaf yet? Are you growing? Are you any taller yet? No, you just enjoy its beauty, right? You're grateful because of what it adds to your home, right? And so Spirit is telling you to be like that with yourself and with your journey, right? Just flow and give yourself the time and space to grow, right? Just flow, give yourself the time and space to grow, right? So let's see what you're saying. Phyllis said, magic beneath my feet. Ooh, cool fairies are something else. Let's see. I've been feeling led to do that. Awesome. Do it. Hi, Aberdis. Welcome. Aberdis said, hello, Grand Rising. I killed every plant I ever had. That was me. I'm telling you, that was me. But now when I water my plants, first of all, I water my plants every Monday. And when I water them, I talk to them, right? I rub them. And when I first got these plants, the first time I watered them, I shared this before, but it felt so good because I was just led to put my arms around it to hug it, right? Now, of course, they're fragile, so I didn't just hug it like I would a person. I didn't get a plant a bear hug, but I could feel the plant's energy, and then the plant actually spoke to me. Now, I was so excited about this because I've known that others have been able to receive messages in that way, but that was my first time, right? And so it was amazing. The plant was actually delivering a message. So what you're being called to do is to connect with your plants as a living being, right? Oftentimes we forget that everything, right? Everything I'm hearing is a being that is alive, right? Everything is a being that is alive. Everything is moving, right? Everything is flowing. So Spirit is telling you to look at your plants more like your soul, right? As you nurture your plants, you're nurturing your soul. Make that connection. And don't be afraid to talk to your plants. My son's like, you get weirder by the day. Okay, well, my plants are alive though. They healthy and thriving. I'm happy. You happy. So, yeah. So we also have the lake and we got stillness. These are my favorite trees, you guys. I love those trees. For some of you, Spirit is literally telling you to go to the lake. I'm actually going to the mountains on Sunday, you guys. You know, after I did my 7-day detox, Spirit said for me to do 2 days a month, a weekend a month, where I do the detox again, no food, no social media, no TV, nothing. And so I decided with this weekend, 8/8 Lionsgate, that portal is going to be wide open. I will be going to the mountains on Sunday. So I'm super duper excited about that. But Spirit is saying that it's time for us to be still, right? It's time for us to be still. We get in the habit of constantly moving, whether it's a mental move, whether it's an energetic move, whether it is a physical move. We're always moving. And this is why it becomes difficult for us to grow, because when there's growth, it requires stillness, right? So think about it like this. If you plant a plant, we just gonna keep with the theme. You plant that seed, right? If you're constantly pulling up the seed, disturbing the earth, it's never going to grow, right? It's just a seed in some dirt, right? But if you allow that dirt to be still and you just nurture it, right? You nurture it, then that's where the growth happens. So Spirit is telling us to be still, allow the room for growth, right? Why are we in such a hurry? Why? We were taught to be in a hurry. Everything. We're in a microwavable society. Why? Because it hinders our growth, right? If we don't ever take a time out to be still, we can't receive, right? We can't receive. It's really difficult to be on the go constantly and receive, right? Because Spirit is still. Spirit is subtle, quiet, peace, right? And what does peace feel like? When you connect with the energy of peace, what does that feel like? Does it feel like hustle and bustle, go, go, go? Or does it feel still and calm? Now, it's not to say we cannot have peace or be in peace while we're in that mode of go, right? Peace becomes a part of us when we remember that it already is. We become peace when we remember that we already are, right? But when we think of peace and we just take a moment to breathe and feel the energy of peace, it's still. It's still. So find your peace. Be still, right? Be still. Also, we ain't got this message in a while, but Spirit is saying for some of us, we ain't meditating regularly, and it's time. It's time. If that's you, you don't got to call yourself out, but just do it. At least 5 to 10 minutes a day, in the morning and at night. In the morning is so you're setting the tone of your day, right? You're getting your vibrational frequency all intact. And if you vibrating at peace and calm and balance and abundance and gratitude, guess what you're receiving? More of that, right? If you rushing in the morning to get out the door, guess what you're going to receive? More of that. And then at night, we do it so that we can release, just shed all the energies that we may have picked up in our day, all the tension, the stress, the worries, the fears, just release it, release it with gratitude, right? So, and then we got grounding. There's a lot of nature coming through in our cards today, you guys. Lots of it. So one of the things that Spirit is telling us to do is time for us to really focus on our heart chakra, right? That's where we're storing that trauma. It's time for us to heal it, release it, right? And then by doing that, we're connecting ourselves to our power source, right? We're reconnecting to our power source. We're trusting in our power. We're allowing our power to be the fuel that propels us into our destiny, right? So it's time to heal your heart, release the trauma, right? It's time for you to be in your power. And then it's also time for you to connect deeper with nature. So get grounded. It is what it is. Spirit is saying some of us have not grounded in a while. Some of us have not gotten outside, put our feet in that earth, socks off, shoes off, and just grounded, right? And if you don't know how to ground, I have a video on Tuesday Tips and Tools showing you how, but also we do it every Wednesday. That exercise that we're doing when we're breathing, we're grounding, right? So just go outside and do it. Go outside and do it. Now, most often what we do is we stand and we ground through our feet. But what I'm being told to tell you, if you feel led, Ground sitting too. Like do one where you're standing and then do one where your butt is on the earth, no blanket, nothing in between you and the earth except your clothes, unless you're able to just sit naked, if it's in your yard, go for it, right? Or if you feel led, don't come getting me if you get arrested. But if Spirit's saying you feel comfortable, hey, do you? I'm not judging. But literally allow yourself to do the same thing we did, but from your root. Just allow your root to grow roots, right? And penetrate Mother Earth and bring that energy back up, okay? Let's see what you're saying. Yes, Cheryl said, look, I'm clapping. Cheryl said, when you find your peace, you'll find your answers. Yes, you will. When you find your peace, you receive, right? You receive. And here's the thing. Release expectation of how it looks like, how it feels like, how it sounds like, right? How it smells like. And yes, I said smell because some of us have the gift of smell, right? How it tastes like. Release expectation of how you are going to receive from Spirit. Because here's the thing, we all have all the gifts, all of them. We all possess them. How they show up is dependent on what serves your highest good. You may be strong in hearing today, and then tomorrow you may be strong in sight. So just release expectation. Remember, we're releasing all attachment to the outcome, and we're just flowing. We're just being with gratitude, right? And surrender. And we're trusting because we are worthy. I am worthy to be guided by the divine because I am worthy of greatness. Why? Because I am greatness. You are worthy to be guided by the divine because you are worthy of greatness. Why? Because you are greatness, right? So just flow, just be. And then we have join in. I'm hearing join in the fun, join in the fun, join in. I'm hearing it's time for you to join the few that have agreed to this path, right? And Spirit is speaking about those souls that agreed to awaken. Let's back it up. Spirit said, back it up. Those souls that agreed to experience the trauma. Those souls that agreed to heal the trauma. Those souls that agreed to awaken from the trauma, right? Those souls that agreed to serve those that are still stuck in the trauma, right? It's time for you to join in. We agree to this. Our souls agree to this. And if it is fear that is holding you back, release it, right? Release it. If it is worry that is holding you back, release it, right? If it's doubt, release it. If it's lack, release it. Release it, right? So I'm going to tell you, I've often shared with you all how Spirit works, right? And I get these examples to share because of the fact that most of us are money motivated, right? We have this concept that without money, I can't survive, right? Because that's what we've been taught. But money is just an energy, right? So I'm going to share with you how I tell you all the time that Spirit has your back. Spirit has my back. Spirit's got me no matter what happens. So I recently had two of my soul clients who are not able to continue with the mentorship. They just don't have the funds, right? And so you could go into, oh no, that money goes to this bill or that money goes to that bill, right? And be in fear and lack and worry and stress. And guess what you're doing? You're creating more fear, lack, worry, and stress. Or you can surrender. Everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. I release all attachment to the outcome. I'm worthy. I know Spirit has my back. And because I'm worthy, Spirit will show up and show out no matter what, right? No matter what. Not even 2 weeks after. No, it was not even a week after receiving the information that they would not be able to continue. Spirit blessed me with 2 soul clients. So guess what? There was no loss. Now, if I had looked at it like, oh man, that's a loss. And oh man, guess what? I would have been waddling in that energy, right? All we're called to do is trust and surrender. Spirit has your back. If you're not receiving that support, it's because you're standing in the way. Just move out of the way, right? You move out of the way. And what I'm receiving is, us standing in the way is like us standing on one of those bombs, right? When you step on it, it blows up, right? You're kind of standing on the bomb that's going to blow your life up. But if you would allow Spirit to guide you, you'll avoid all the bombs and then you'll just receive the blessings, the bliss, and the abundance in your life. Sometimes it's a little tough to trust when you're in the midst of it, right? Sometimes it is. And I can't tell you how to do that and have it register with your soul without you healing, right? Because although I knew from the age of 17 is when I started living by the concept that as I thinketh, so I am, that my thoughts create my reality, right? But before I healed, it was really difficult to be in that energy at all times, right? It just was, because that trauma is stronger than my will until I heal it, right? It's stronger than my will. It's stronger than my intentions until I heal it. Now, once I heal it and release it, right, then it's easy, right? So I'm going to speak to you about what I do. This is what I do. I talk to spirit. Okay, spirit, this is what's going on. I know you got me. Show up and show out. Make it happen. Let's do this. I trust. I surrender. Everything that happens in my life serves my highest good, right? And if you're in a flow where that doesn't come easy, when you start your day, before there's even a crisis, get in that mirror. I am worthy. Spirit's got me. Spirit shows up for me. Spirit provides for me. Spirit protects me, right? Spirit guides me. And wherever I am guided by spirit serves my highest good. I surrender. I got this. I'm worthy, right? And throughout your day, I surrender all attachment to the outcome. I trust in the divine. Spirit's got my back. We got this, right? And just keep feeding that to your unconscious mind, shifting your vibrational frequency, shifting your belief, right? And looking at life like, what would it look like if spirit showed up for me? You know, pick one scenario where you are calling on spirit to show up, and then start seeing yourself in that energy. Visually see yourself, what that looks like after spirit has shown up. What does that look like? And feel the feelings, right? Get all in, engage all of your senses, right? So if you believe, if you trust, if you surrender, and if you take action based on the guidance you receive, everything will flow. It will all flow. It will flow, and it will flow in a way that feels like your pain is minimized, right? Your bumping your head starts to happen fewer and, further between, right? You start to experience happiness even when the world says I should be sad right now, or trust even when the world says I should be afraid or worried. You mean I'm still happy, vibing high, and can't nobody tell that I'm going through what I'm going through, because to me, I'm not registering it as that no more. I'm registering it as a blessing no matter what, and I'm grateful. Oh, then I get more things to be grateful for. Okay, this is pretty easy. Let's do this, spirit. Let's do it, right? So just start testing yourself. One thing at a time. Start testing spirit, right? We were taught, don't question God, don't test God. That's that old way of thinking that keeps us stuck, keeps us weak, keeps us afraid, keeps us out of our power. You have every right to test spirit, to test the divine, every right to ask questions, every right to have it be proven to you, right? Because how else are you going to believe? How else are you going to believe? Wholeheartedly, right? You got to see it. You got to see it, right? So start testing. And then also, if you're interested in working together, if spirit done guided you, let's start. We have the Activating You one-on-one. We have the Activating You group mentorship, and there's still slots available. So if this is something that you've been guided to do, or you feel led, or this is touching your soul in a different kind of way, then schedule your consultation. The link's in the description box. I'd love to serve you, okay? So let's see what you all are saying. Okay. It looks like I missed some stuff. TK said, yes, I've been getting that message also. Be in flow with soul family worldwide. Yes. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a village to raise the dead, right? And so many of us are mentally dead. We're emotionally dead. We're spiritually dead, right? So I cannot do this alone. I just can't, right? You cannot do this alone. And it's time for us to make the choice to do what we came here to do. And when Spirit was talking about releasing the comparisons, here's the thing. When you're comparing yourself to someone else, that's where envy can set in. That's when jealousy can set in. And that's a low vibrating energy amongst you and that person or those people. But when you can look at your uniqueness and see how divine you are and all of your unique, quirky, silly, strong, weak, short, tall, whatever, glory, then you can start looking at others as a teammate, as a part of your village, as opposed to your competition, right? Only competition I have is me. That's it. I'm competing with who I was yesterday. That's it. The Nahkila I was yesterday, oh, I'm crushing her today. She is dead and gone, and here's a new me that has emerged. Every day I wake up, that's my competition, right? That's it. So Spirit is telling you, see your village as your team, right? Not your competition. You're unique. They're unique. You have your lane. They have their lane. So, yeah. Anything else? They said, nope, that's it. So that is our message today for Empower Hour. For those of you that have joined, thank you so much. We are now going to go into our mini readings. Let me just see what you guys are saying. And before I do, even if you're not getting a reading, if you have the time, I recommend you stay on, because a lot of times, number one, Spirit has me give messages for us as a collective in between the readings, but also a lot of times what comes through for the person getting the reading, it resonates, or it's something that you can take later and utilize it to serve your highest good on your journey. So, yeah. So let's see. Phyllis said, oh, wait, Cheryl said, I definitely get in my own way a lot of times. And we all do, right? And here's the thing. We are the only ones that get in our way, right? We're the only ones. No one else can stop us. No one else can stop our magic. It's just us. Now, we can allow someone, but even that is still us, because we're allowing it. No one can take anything from us, right? No one can take anything from us, right? That's all us. It's all us. So be in your power. It's all you. It's all you. You are the magic. You are the creator, right? The creator and the destroyer. Which one are you choosing, right? So let's see. Cheryl said, I believe our spirit guides are our cheering team. Yes, yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Phyllis said, absolutely. Our thoughts are powerful. Yes. Phyllis said, exactly, that jealousy thing is horrible. Yes, yes, yes. Phyllis said, it's a competition with Phyllis. Exactly. Charmaine said, beautiful Empower Hour. Thank you, Charmaine. I'm so grateful, so grateful. So, okay. So I'm going to, thank you so much, Phyllis. Thank you. I am going to go ahead and share the Cash App with you guys. Now, I do, Cash App is the preferred, ooh, we are frozen in time. Let's see. Are we frozen on Facebook, y'all? Are y'all still with us on Facebook? Oh, it's my computer. I'm just going to go ahead and sit here. There we go. It's my computer. So, hi, Charmaine. Thank you so much for being here. If you're over on Facebook, please go ahead and join us on YouTube. And thank you so much. Actually, Charmaine, yes, I do. I do. So send me a friend request and let's connect via the DM, okay? And thank you, Diamond, so much for directing everyone over to us on YouTube. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so what I was saying was, Cash App is the preferred method for your readings because of the fact that they don't charge a fee, the mini readings, right? And because the mini readings are at the price point that they are, if you have Cash App, please utilize that as opposed to PayPal. If you don't have Cash App, in my description box, there is a link. If you set up your Cash App using that link, you will get $5 the first time you send a payment, and I will get $5 the first time you send a payment. So your reading would actually be $15 for you. Now, if you're just totally against Cash App, then PayPal, of course, is accepted, but that is the preferred method for these mini readings because they don't charge a fee, okay? So, let's see. So Phyllis sent payment for mini reading and Charmaine. Okay, so we're going to start with Phyllis. Okay. And I was asking Spirit, which one to burn? Which one to burn? Okay. Who's still on with me? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you're still on. Oh, I had a great workout today too, you guys. It was amazing. I ended up doing it by myself today because my mom's not feeling well. If you guys could please send some healing energy to my mom, her back. She did 100 of the sit-ups with the weights and on the ball. You know, you hold that thing, the thing where you could also use to do this exercise. But she did that, and her back is like, she forgot that her back gives her issues because she's been doing so well. And then also, if you could send some healing and protective energy for our sister in light, Ravender, please, please do. She reached out and asked that we do that. Okay. And Phyllis, were you doing a general or did you have a question? Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys. So Cheryl's still on, Michonne's still on, TK, Phyllis and Charmaine is still on. And if you have a question, Cheryl, or I say Cheryl, look, and then Cheryl's comment pops up. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl said I'll say a prayer for them. Thank you so much. Phyllis, did you have a question or were you doing a general today? I'm being told to ask you, how have you been doing with your third eye? Have you been massaging it? Did you get an exercise last time about your third eye? Because it's coming through. How have you been doing with massaging it? Your third eye is ready to open even more. So let me know. I believe it's a general, but I didn't ask and you didn't say, so let me know, please. And if you're over on Facebook and you'd like a mini reading, please join us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. And were you doing a general, Phyllis? What I'm receiving is you've got the whole world in your hands, and that song, you got the whole world. Well, that's how they're singing it, but he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. But it's saying you've got the whole world. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you. TK said, oh, that third eye pulsating right now. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much, Roz. Yes, it's weird because you guys can see it and I can't. Thank you guys. So Phyllis, I'm being told to tell you to release the tension that you're storing in your body. And what it feels like there's something that happened recently that threw your energy a little off and experience. And you didn't release that energy or disconnect from that experience. It's something that's happened since our last Empower Hour. And what you're being called to do is, no matter how big or small, if something upsets you, disappoints you, or you feel takes you out of your character or your preferred energy, it's important to disconnect. And what I'm feeling some heart stuff and some solar plexus stuff, but what is it? What is it indicating? Your heart's a little heavy. So just go ahead and release it. Release whatever's on your heart. Now, the connection that's being made between the heart and the third eye, it's like because of this experience, you haven't fully released it, it's hindering your ability to discern correctly, right? It's making you feel, creating a bit of a disconnect. And by being in this space, it's depleting your power. So what we'd like you to do is release the energy, and they're telling me to show you. So, just literally take your arms, pull it down your body, toss it to the earth, go into your heart space and just do that exercise where you pull that energy out, right? Setting the intentions that you're releasing all that energy that does not serve you, right? And as you're pulling it from your heart, take whatever energetic block that was planted in your solar plexus and have it be coming up too out of the heart, right? Out of the heart. And then when you're done replenishing it with unconditional love and acceptance and power, right? Power and strength, right? And then also I'm being told to tell you to see yourself cleansing the debris off of your third eye. And literally what I'm saying, and this is what they're telling me to tell you to visualize, is like a windshield wiper. You know, you think in terms of those vehicles. My vehicle has one on the back where there's a single windshield wiper. See it going across your third eye, right? And even doing that, that energy feels really good. Just see it cleaning the debris, right? And then doing like a blink with your third eye and then open, right? Everything will be clearer. Make sure you do these exercises, right? Because when spirit gives the exercise, it doesn't matter how silly they seem or how simple they seem, it's going to serve your highest good, right? So make sure you do those exercises. So first, what you're going to do is when you're dealing with something with someone, you disconnect from their energy, toss it to the earth, right? And then you go to that heart space and you pull that energy out. It's not serving you and it's connected to that solar plexus, whatever that block is, you're pulling that up and out through the heart, right? Then you're going to see that windshield wiper cleaning the debris off your third eye, and then see it blinking and opening, right? Opening. So you can see things more clearly, so you can discern, so you can receive that guidance from spirit. I was just told you have flower pots that you're not using. It's time for you to plant some flowers. It's time for you to bring the outdoors inside. It's time for you to release any energies that feel like doom and gloom that are in your friend circle. You also said circle of friends, your family unit, and within yourself. You have so much potential, but you're still barely peeling back the layers to reveal and scratch the surface. It's time for you to be consistent and do the work. Don't procrastinate, don't wait, don't delay. You are ready. Tell yourself that. It's fear that holds you back. You oftentimes fear the unknown. You fear what others will think. It's time for you to only be your judge. Meaning, don't judge yourself at all. And also, it's time for you to release judgment of others. Sometimes you find yourself being really judgmental of a person's personal choices, but understand it's their journey and they have the right to choose. Their soul is evolving, and sometimes we can't see the path that their soul is on, but know that it is serving them. Also, don't be an enabler. People oftentimes attempt to take advantage of you because they see this kind, warm, nurturing spirit. You do have a side that people would rather not see, but it's time for you to find the balance between the two. Setting clear boundaries right now is of the utmost importance, and also serving yourself by pouring into your soul in a way that will elevate your mind, elevate your heart, and elevate your spirit. You have been delaying this journey because of past experiences. Now it's time for you to understand you are safe. You are whole, you are complete, you are worthy, and you are capable. Why do you not see yourself as the divine being that you are? Ask yourself through meditation. And they said to explain, when they say ask yourself, they're talking about your soul, right? Your soul. Why you don't feel worthy. Why you don't feel equipped. Why you don't feel ready. And then whatever is revealed, that's your first step in your healing journey. Don't overthink it, just allow it to flow to you. So I'm receiving you have energy that flows through you, and it's time for you to do an overall spiritual body cleanse, right? It would serve your highest good to do a 3-day detox. Allow yourself to be really mindful of what you're eating, what you're drinking, and what you're ingesting on social media. It serves your highest good to totally disconnect from social media, Facebook in particularly, and just allow yourself to connect with spirit on a much deeper level. We've been calling you to do the work. Now it's time to step forward. You must be counted as one of the chosen ones. But why do you fear the task? It's all buried in your DNA. It's time to remember. We'll reveal it to you if you ask. Okay. And I was told to pull a card from the butterfly deck. 1 or 2. They said 2, 3, or 4. So that's them telling me whatever comes. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's so funny. Okay, so relationship dynamics, memories, new exercise program, and retirement. Okay, so these cards are all pretty much following up the message you just received. So those relationship dynamics, Spirit was just telling you, releasing those relationships that are not serving you, those relationships that bring your energy down, right? It's time for you to release those. And it's time for you to create new dynamics by understanding your worth, right? It's time for you to understand that you are, I'm hearing, a child of God. You are the divine having a human experience, right? Now, I don't know your faith or your belief, but what they're telling me is this. If you were they say, if you were to have sweet baby Jesus in your care, how would you treat Jesus? Now, whether you believe that Jesus is the sole Son of God, or whether you believe that Jesus is a prophet, or whether you believe that Jesus is what you believe Jesus is actually one of my guides. Whatever you believe Jesus to be, it doesn't matter. But we all typically have Jesus in some sort of high regard, right? So how would you treat the offspring of God is basically what they're telling me to ask you. And however you would treat the offspring of God is how you're being called to treat yourself, because that is what you are, right? That is what you are. Also, with the memories, what they're saying is there's 2 parts to this. Part of what's coming through, oh, and look at that yellow flower. There's a lot of yellow in your cards. Part of what's coming through is, number 1, part of your fear stems from that cellular memory that you carry from when you were shining your light and what happened, right? What happened to most light workers, right? Being judged. I'm hearing throwing stones, like physical stones, being on display, ridiculed. Also, what's coming through is you are capable of remembering who you are when you seek that knowledge and that wisdom, right? So allow yourself to connect to those memories that are keeping you in fear and keeping you in stagnation. Allow yourself to heal those and release those. And as I'm saying this, I'm feeling heart chakra stuff. So there's a big connection between the heartache that you experience in this lifetime and what you experienced in previous lifetimes, right? A part of how you treat yourself is connected to how you chose to dim and hide, right? So severing all soul contracts that speak to you hiding and dimming, right? It's time for you to remember. It's time for you to know who you are, right? Heal and release that pain. Now, with the new exercise program, this goes into that whole detox that came through. Not only are you being called to go on a detox where you're pretty much releasing the toxins, right? Releasing the toxins. Now, here's the thing. If I don't know what your eating habits are, if you're vegan or not, but whenever Spirit brings through a detox, it's always recommended that during that time you give up all meat, all animal products. Now, it doesn't have to become a part of your permanent lifestyle, right? But at least during that detox, right? It's important. And then if you do go back into eating meat, make sure you're eating meats that are as humane as possible, right? The animals that weren't slaughtered from a state of anxiety, right? A state of fear and worry. The ones that are fed natural, like Spirit's just telling you to be really mindful of what you're putting into your body, not just the spiritual, emotional, mental, but also your physical. And it's time for you to get moving. It's time for you to create at least a 3-day-a-week exercise regimen, even if it's walking in place. Notice how I was doing this, even if it's walking in place. but it's just time for you to move, because as you're releasing, what you're doing through that movement is you're breaking up and busting up any stagnant energy, right? So part of our healing, it's also about the physical, right? That physical has a contribution to the energetic, right? And it's all connected: mind, body, soul, the Holy Trinity, right? And then retirement. It's time for you to retire the old you, that part of you that didn't feel worthy, that part of you that felt disconnected, that part of you that feels dependent on the opinions of others. It's time for you to retire that and allow yourself to be the real you, the true you, the you that's resonating with your soul, right? Who you are on a soul level. It's time for you to be that. Anything else? I was told to tell you to also do some stretches, particularly stretches that stretch the back, like the scapula, where the scapular area is, specifically there, because I'm feeling something in your left scapula. And so spirit is saying a lot of times when you carry things from your past, it gets stored right there. So it's time for you to release that, right? You may even decide to treat yourself to a massage. Okay. So that is your message, Phyllis. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. And I'm going to see how it resonated. And also, if you get a reading today, please make sure you click the link in the description box to the page, The Spiritual Awakening. It says Spiritual Awakening with Nahkila Isha in the description, but I will be changing it because the name has been changed to Spiritual Awakening with AshworthScott Life Sculpting, because now that we have other readers, Tia Lynn, Javi on the team, and then Jillian, our team shaman, it's important that it's inclusive. You notice I changed the name of the channel as well to AshworthScott Life Sculpting. So if your reading resonates or resonated, please go ahead and leave a review there. Thank you so much. So let's see. Yes, I can see your comment, Michonne. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Lacey. Thank you. Lacey said I can download Cashapp. So let's see. I missed a whole lot. So let's see. Phyllis said, yes, sis, that's true. Yes, absolutely. And my tummy been acting crazy. Absolutely. Cheryl said, I'll say a prayer for you too if you'd like, Phyllis. Oh, that's so sweet. Phyllis said, yes, thank you so much. Phyllis said, OMG, this is confirmation. Phyllis said, yes. Phyllis said, yes, I do fear the unknown. True, that is true. Well, let's do this. Let's cancel, delete. I do fear the unknown. Cancel, delete that. Right? I am fearless, and there is no unknown because I create my reality, right? Cancel, delete it. You don't fear the unknown anymore because there's no such thing. You're creating your reality. So release that. Release that. I am fearless. I am fearless. There is no unknown because I create my reality, right? And so it is. Cancel, delete that. So Phyllis said, yes. Okay. True. That is true. Lacey said, Nahkila, you are on fire. If it's not too late, I would like a mini reading and I'll pay you on Facebook again if that's okay. Yes, I do have time for the reading. And then I saw that you're going to download Cashapp, so that's perfect. Thank you so much. And yes, you'll be after Charmaine. Phyllis said, true, sis. Spirit told me that. Phyllis said, okay, absolutely. Charmaine said, Nahkila, it's amazing to see you work. Oh, thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. Phyllis said, I wanted to ask you about me chosen. Why did my ancestors choose me? Well, cancel, delete, want it. We're going to cancel that want. And you're chosen because you agreed, right? You agreed to do the work, and you're special and you're capable. And we go through cycles where we all have an opportunity to stand up, and your soul was brave and courageous, and your soul said, I stand, right? And as I'm saying that, what I'm saying is like the spirit council is like, okay, who's doing it this lifetime? And you were one of the first ones to raise your hand, right? Like I will, so you're chosen because of the fact that you're built for this, is what I'm receiving. So yeah. Cheryl said, all right, chosen one. Michonne said, I sent payment for a general reading, Nahkila, but the video keeps stopping. Okay. So what I'll do, Michonne, so you are, okay, so it looks like you sent your payment before Lacey. So there will be Charmaine, Michonne, then Lacey. Phyllis said, mine too. He is one of my guides. Yes, awesome. Phyllis said, yes, girl. Michonne said, can someone let me know if they see my comments? Phyllis said, I have been hurt because I would see stuff in churches. They never understood me. Cheryl said, I see it. I'll let her know. Thank you, Cheryl. Phyllis said, I've been feeling led to do vegan. Awesome. Well, this detox, because as that was coming through, I was thinking, but I didn't say it because when I'm delivering, I don't give what I'm thinking unless Spirit says share. But I was thinking, you just may love how you feel and you just may stick to it. Because it's never me pushing my agenda. I'm vegan. That's no secret. But your choices are your choices, So, yeah. And what I would start saying, this is for all of us, start saying, I'm so grateful that I am being assisted with being the best, highest, grandest version of myself. By doing that, anything that does not serve your highest good, and say with ease and grace and flow, right? Because Spirit will just have things fall. That's how I became vegan. It was like the desire was gone. I had been saying, oh, I'm gonna become vegan. I'm gonna become vegan. I'm gonna give up meat. And it was just talk, right? And then as I was saying that, being the best version of myself, what ended up happening, the desire just left. I didn't struggle through it. I didn't struggle through becoming vegan. It was just gone because it served my highest good, because by me eating clean, it keeps my vibration elevated, and that serves my highest good, right? So, let me go ahead and plug us on in before we really pause. Wait, is it plugged up? Did it work? Yeah, okay. So let's see. Phyllis said, yes. Sis, you spoke so much confirmation. This was powerful. Oh, I'm so grateful. So grateful. Mishan said, I'm working, Nahkila, so you can do my reading last. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Phyllis said that explains a lot about my neck. Yeah, oftentimes ailments that we have, it's energetic, right? It's energetic. So it's really about us when we heal and release that energy, you'd be surprised how physically we transition, right? So that's like with me and my surgeries, the 2 cervical spine surgeries I had, the way I've recovered, it is so beyond what I am supposed to be at, right? According to medicine, right? It's just so beyond that. Part of it is definitely the healing and the releasing of that energy. And part of it is that speaking my healing into existence, right? So it's a combination of both. So it's really, and also energy work as well. So it's really amazing how different things we experience, even like, I had a hysterectomy, right? And when I look at what experience we have in childhood that relates to that, it's so on point, so on point. And here's the thing, if anyone on ever decides that, maybe you had some physical ailments and you like to know how that physical ailment relates to your childhood, connect for a personal reading and we can do that. I have a whole book that goes down, and then of course goes down the line explaining it, and then of course I'll give you whatever message Spirit comes as it relates to those experiences, the ailments, how you can help heal it and release it, and whatever else comes through. So you would just schedule that as a regular personal one-on-one reading. So let's see. Mishan's, okay, I read that. Phyllis said, I plan on starting juicing. Awesome, awesome. Mishan said, OMG, electronics are being really wonky around me. Yeah, it's the shift, the energetic shift that we've been experiencing lately. Because, yeah, that's when my computer did that for the second time. I was like, okay, this is energy. Let's release it. Let's claim it's working. Let's see. Charmaine said, I left work early because my tech is not working. And now my home tech is losing its mind. Charmaine said, oh, okay, Charmaine is next. Thank you so much, Cheryl, Lacey, and then Michonne. Okay, awesome. Phoenix said, first time that this keeps going out in all of the years I've been on with you. We'll definitely watch the replay. Something doesn't want today's message to come through. I'm still processing it. Yes. And that's usually what happens. It's like something's preventing you from getting that message because it's speaking to your soul. But here's the thing. Also, as a lot of us have been experiencing that ascension symptoms thing going on, we're elevating energetically. And sometimes when your vibe is really, really high, it can make electronics go wonky, right? So it's like there's a lot of us that are on that have just gotten out of that ascension symptoms, that spirit flu phase. And so now there's so much high energy amongst all of us that for some, it's, yeah, there's an energy attempting to keep the message. And for some, it's like it's wonky because of all that high vibe energy. So, yeah. Okay, so Cheryl said Charmaine is next. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, Phyllis. And it's time to get to work. You got this. Okay, so I am disconnecting. I'm going to light some of the sage too. Disconnecting from Phyllis's energy, and I am connecting to Charmaine's energy. Okay, so spirit. And Charmaine, did you have a question or was it a general? This smells so good together, the combination of the sage and the Palo Santo. Charmaine said, I've been guided to internally explore and develop this month, but my question is, what is Spirit's advice for this phase of development? About 1 month ago, you mentioned I'd be going into this phase. Ooh, and you're here now. That was quick. What's your advice, Spirit, for Charmaine? I just heard flow, patience, acceptance, gratitude, confidence, security, being tapped into your divine energy, also creating balance amongst yourself, your day-to-day life, your family. It's really important that you're creating that balance for self. Make sure that you're putting you first, releasing fear, doubt, worry, allowing your soul family to hold space, allowing your voice to be heard, stepping out of your shell, not biting your tongue for anyone, understanding you are powerful, being in that power fully and completely, releasing and surrendering. Is there anything specific you'd like Charmaine to work on or focus on? It's really important that you focus on being in your power. You tend to appear as not so strong because of your stature to someone that is bigger or physically stronger. But think in terms of David and Goliath. You are David and capable of defeating, beating any giant. Sometimes those giants are your fears. Sometimes those giants are self-doubt. Sometimes those giants are lack of faith. Sometimes it's worry. You have the power to defeat it. You're also connected to divine wisdom. So continue to heal. Continue to be present. Don't miss your session, Charmaine. Make sure you allow your soul to continue to be poured into. It's also time for you to start giving back without fear, without doubt. Also, don't discount yourself. You're creating an energy right now. Make sure the energy you create is one that you'd like to carry. And then they said, start them off the way you keep them, which is funny because I was just sharing how my grandmother used to say that about relationships. The way you start them is how you keep them, right? And so Spirit is referring to you as you move into this phase of serving, right? As you move into this phase of serving, make sure that you're setting yourself up to be taken seriously, to be seen as the expert that you are, right? But first, it requires you to see yourself as such. Also, get out your runes and play with them. Today, receive a message for yourself. Do a reading on yourself. Oh, they said do a reading for Nahkila in the group. I'll take it. Whenever y'all do readings in the Activating You, it's always a yes for me. And what they're saying, they said because she's going to tell you and guide you and give you feedback. There's some areas where you could use some feedback that will strengthen your ability to connect and your faith and your connection. Utilize, they said utilize her and them, me as in Nahkila, and her as in me, and then them as in the soul family. I'm hearing this isn't just for growth in your healing, it's also growth and development. I'm hearing in your skills, in your purpose, in your department of service. Utilize what you're investing in every possible way. Is there anything else? It's time for you to let it go. And what is it? I mean, I'm feeling it here in my neck, but what is Charmaine going to know what it is, or would you like to tell me what it is? Rigid and fixed. Your opinion of how others perceive you, how they receive you, how they'll take you. And also stop prejudging the situation or the outcome. And so now I'm being told to share an example of that. Some of you know that when I wasn't a stay-at-home mom anymore, I started working in sales, right? And then I became a sales manager for a furniture store. And so anyways, one of the things that I did was I treated everyone as if they were able, ready, and willing to buy, right? I didn't look at a person and judge them based on what I saw, because I know when I used to go out, when we had bought our house and I was buying furniture, I'd be in sweats and a t-shirt, and I get judged. Like, they didn't know I had cash and was ready to buy whatever I was choosing, right? And so it was important for me to not judge people, right? And I had someone who came in, he was a football player. He was a retired football player, and he was saying how he had been judged and how they really missed out on this huge sale. And so what Spirit is saying is, what you're being called to release is that judgment, right? You look at a person, not necessarily their physical appearance, but you look at a person, and that judgment is their past way of thinking, their past way of behaving, or what you think or anticipate they're going to do, right? Spirit is saying, by you doing that, what you're doing is you're missing out. It's not a sale, but you're missing out on a blessing, right? That up level in your abundance. And this has nothing to do with money in this situation. It has to do with your growth, right? Your growth. So what Spirit is telling you is to connect to your ability. And also, I'm being told to tell you to speak your truth, because I just almost got choked up. Speak your truth without judging the outcome. Remember, you are the creator, right? You are the master manifestor. You are the magician. So you are being called to let that go. And Spirit is referring to the example of what you just manifested in the situation that came forth earlier today, right? And Spirit says, stay hydrated. Okay. They said that hydrated part was for both of us. So am I doing this deck for Charmaine? Okay, so yes. And the butterfly. Okay. So this is for Charmaine. Spirit, what message do you have for Charmaine? Ooh, surrender obsessive thinking. Okay. I'm going to read what it says, but I'm being told to pull this first. And then also with that obsessive thinking, Spirit is saying that does fall under the lines of how a person is going to react, right? Sometimes you may take that one. Sometimes you may be thinking about the outcome so much so, right, that you're influencing it with your thoughts, and it keeps you stuck and stagnant from moving. So instead of overthinking it, just send the energy to it and choose the outcome, right? And understanding that everything that happens serves my highest good. What will be is to serve my highest good. So what it says is, it says, if you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to Spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. Also, there was something that was coming through about buying your home, right? So under normal circumstances, there's certain criteria that must be met, right? And so what Spirit is doing is using this experience of purchasing a home to be a huge testimony for you, right? Because you're a servant of the light. So as you experience these blessings and these gifts and these things that happen that seem like they are so disconnected, right, from the norm, you're then able to not only build your faith, but to help teach faith and to help others build theirs, right? So go into that with that wisdom that Spirit is using me, and my life is not my own, but through the miracles that I receive, I am able to help others create their own miracles, right? So when it comes to buying your home, whatever the criteria are, tell Spirit, guide me, show me the way on how we are going to purchase this home. And then just follow what you receive and trust and know it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. It's already yours when that time comes. So healing from the past. Okay, so Spirit said it's time for you to heal from the past, but it's coming through as you've healed, right? You've been healing, right? Your immediate past. This lifetime is your immediate past. However, now it's time for you to go into your past lives and heal. So again, Spirit is saying, do not miss group sessions unless it is absolutely like emergency. It's important for you to be there, be there, be there. And then they just said, be there or be square. And what does that mean? Square. Well, I mean, because it's funny, but were you just joking or is there a meaning behind it? Oh, okay. So be there or be square. Let's break it down because it's how they're showing me. They're like, when you think of a square, it's like here, and it's here, and it's here, and it's here, right? When you think of a circle, it just flows, right? The journey flows, and there's a cycle, right, of peace and bliss and abundance. But when it's a square, it's like pause, down, or that ain't down. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how it's coming through. They were being funny, but they said there's meaning in everything. Be there or be square. We're choosing to be a circle and flow. Is there anything else for Charmaine? No, they just said, no, I'll tell you, you've got this. Keep the faith. I don't know what guys are coming through today, but they've been real funny because after they said, keep the faith, another guy said, keep the faith, my brother. Oh, also, they're telling me to tell you to just relax. Don't over clean and don't overthink. Just relax. And it's coming through as when you are over obsessing about something, you get really busy. You know how some people clean a lot to distract themselves. And what Spirit is telling you is to release that and to allow yourself to be still, right? And you said it earlier. Movement and stillness, to be still, right? Allow yourself to disconnect from the distractions and put yourself in a place of power of being able to control, right? Control. I'm hearing yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. They said, okay, now we're really done. Okay, thank you. So Charmaine, that is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, and let's see how it resonated. So let's see. Okay, so Charmaine said, yes, confirmation of what I've been receiving. I was just having a convo about a giant bully I had in school. Haha, I'll make the session, Spirit. Okay, awesome. And I'll be getting our sessions on the schedule this week coming up. They'll be scheduled so you guys can select which one you'll be attending. TK said, me too. Wow. Charmaine said, wow, this is deep. TK said, come on with it, Charmaine. TK said, oh, wait, Charmaine said, OMG, my neck has been hurting so bad the past 2 days. It's time to release it. It's time to release it. Cheryl said, Nahkila is definitely serving, and so it is. Thank you, Cheryl. Charmaine said, yes, this is so true. Prejudging brings up anxiety. Cheryl said, Nahkila is the real deal. Thank you, Cheryl. Charmaine said, yes, this makes sense a lot. Charmaine said, I have been contacting galactic beings and I feel weird. I'm excited about it, but worried about what others will think. And yes, intuition has been telling me more water. Okay, so let's stop right there for a minute, okay? part of the weirdness is coming from the up level, right? I don't know if you saw the video yesterday about the ascension symptoms, but oftentimes that's another feeling, that weird, right? That fear of judgment and all that stuff. And then also sometimes we'll be in that mode of, am I tripping? You know what I mean? Like, am I tripping? Or, you know, like for instance, I'm going to tell you, when I've been in my moments of humanness, when my ego steps in, the whole situation with me and my twin flame, right? Spirit done told me, done showed me, done this and that. I done have 50 million readings where it's come up, and it's like, you know, readings that I haven't even done for myself, whether they're generals on YouTube, whether it's my team giving me readings or Natalie or whomever, right? But then sometimes I'll have a moment where I'm like, what if I'm just tripping? What if I'm just tripping, right? And of course it comes and it goes, but that happens, right? And it usually happens around the time that them ascension symptoms is going on. So oftentimes we'll feel like just out of whack with everything. You know that you are on the right path. You know that that is a part of your calling. It's a part of your healing. It's a part of your journey, right? And sometimes people may judge you because people either fear what they don't understand or they ridicule what they don't understand. But you know how they say people will laugh at you and then they'll ask you how you did it, right? So Spirit is telling you to release that fear of judgment, right? Release that fear of judgment. Trust and know that you are on the right path. There are too many synchronistic events, messages, experiences, you know, feelings that you have had to know that you are on the path that serves your highest good. So stay the course. They're telling me to tell you, stay the course, stay the course. So Charmaine said, yay, butterfly. Charmaine said LMFAO. Obsessive thinking, the perfect card. Charmaine said, we got an offer on a home today in my hometown. And I was like, nah, LOL, after the discussion we had last week. Charmaine said, LMFAO, your guides are too much. Yes, yes, I'm excited to disconnect and connect to the divine even more. Yes, and so it is. Charmaine said, thank you, Nahkila. That was awesome. I feel like I just went on a roller coaster ride. LOL, what a great read. You are so welcome, Charmaine, and thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to disconnect from Charmaine's energy. And Lacey, you are next. Did you have a general or did you have a question? And I'm hearing the song, let the music play. He won't get away. Just keep the groove. He'll come back to you. As I'm connecting to your energy, Lacey, that's what I'm hearing. That song. Let the music play. He won't get away. That's what I'm hearing. We're going to see what that's about in a minute. Let me know, Lacey, if you have a question or if you like a general reading. And then Michonne is after Lacey, since Michonne requested to go last. And if there's anyone else on that would like a mini reading, please let me know. Let's see, Michonne, I'm not sure if Lacey is still on or if Lacey made her payment yet. So if not, we will go ahead and do you next. So Michonne, do you have a, okay, general. Now, Lacey, did you send your payment through PayPal? I mean, through Facebook again, or where did you send it today? And I'm looking to make sure that I didn't miss anyone because sometimes as the comments come, they get pushed up and then I don't always see. So I'm being told to tell you also it's time for you to breathe. This is you, Lacey, because I haven't disconnected. Okay, awesome, awesome. So I am going to go ahead and go to Michonne. Michonne, are you doing a general or did you have a question? And then Lacey, let me know when you're done, and then you'll be after Michonne. And I noted that you asked for a general. So I am disconnecting from Lacey's energy, connecting to Michonne's energy. Michonne, are you still here? Is it a general? A general? Because that's what I'm feeling. It is a general for you. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. And Spirit just said, in this stillness, we find peace. Okay, so I am going to pull a card for us as a collective. Ooh. What message do you have for us, Spirit? What message do you have for us? Can we send our sister Alatha some love and light? Because I'm just feeling like us sending it to her would be good. So we have relationship dynamics. It came in reverse, and we have finances. Okay, so some of us, what Spirit is saying is we have not put the puzzle pieces together to understand how our relationships are affecting our finances, right? And it's specifically coming through for those of you or those of us that have a significant other, is coming through as it's important for you to cultivate the spirit within yourself before you get into any sort of relationship, or if you are already in a relationship, it's important that you continue to cultivate your own soul, not to put any pressure on your mate to make you happy, not to put any pressure on your mate to make you feel whole and complete. It's time for you to get happy, be happy, and remain happy in order to experience a happy connection. If your spouse does not agree with your financial choices, it's time for you to evaluate whether or not these choices are choices that are serving your soul or if they are serving your ego. If it is serving your soul, it is okay to politely decline and do what you're being led to do. If it's serving your ego, it is time for you to politely decline your ego and do what your spouse is suggesting you do. What you're being called to remember right now is that your spouse is not here to make you whole. You are already whole. It's about you remembering your wholeness and finding that peace within. If you're looking to either attract a mate or you're looking to improve an existing relationship, it's important for you to begin focusing solely on self. And as that's coming through, what they're telling me to tell you is focusing solely on self doesn't mean like from a selfish standpoint, but it means focusing on your healing, your growth, and your development, right? And what I'm also being told is by doing this, you're setting yourself up to succeed in your relationship. Okay, thank you for that. But there was something else that was coming and it went away. Will you bring it back, please? It's time for you to let go of past pains from past broken hearts. It's also time to stop judging your current mate or spouse based on what someone else did. They are not the same. And then they say, especially if you've done the work. And if you're feeling a little influenced by past relationships, past mistakes, they're doing air quotes, it's time for you to heal from that past. So, what I just received is time for you to start seeking your truth, yourself, and others. It's time for you to start seeking your truth, yourself, and others. And how that's coming through is when you look at others as your mirror, right? And you see them as your mirror, not like we're looking for self-validation, but when you can see another person as you can have a greater understanding of their why, right? Whether it's a high vibe or a low vibe, it doesn't really matter. But Spirit is saying to begin seeing others as your reflection. And also, it allows you to ask that question that came up earlier: what am I meant to learn from this? What am I gaining from this? How am I growing from this, right? Spirit is saying it's time for us to stop playing victim and stop pointing the finger. You know, that whole cliche, there's three pointing back. It's time for us to do that. And then also, if we really get, let's just point like this. I don't know how you point. Sometimes we do this, right? But let's point like this. Because Spirit is saying when we're pointing, there are three parties involved. There is that person that's serving a purpose. There is the divine, and there is us. So the divine, the person, us, right? So these are the key factors: the divine, the person, us, right? So it's time for us to start looking at all of it as attached to this, right? Which is the divine, which means it all serves us. What I just was told to tell you is finances will increase when you do, right? Your finances will rise when you do. Your finances will elevate when you do, right? You will not receive more if you aren't willing to step up and be more, right? That's for all of us as a collective, okay? So, and I believe that, okay. Okay, awesome. You know what? When I said, and I believe, I was just about to say, and I believe that Lacey has made her payment. And we'll go with Lacey because Michonne is not on. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you for keeping that for keeping that for me. Thank you. So Lacey, you are getting a general. So I am disconnecting and connecting to Lacey's energy. Lacey's beautiful divine energy. Spirit said, Lacey, claim your energy as such. You've been discounting yourself for far too long, accepting people and situations that have expired. Your soul is ready to expand, but you've got chains around your heart that keep it from happening. There's a guilt trip happening where you feel obligated, and it's not just one individual. This tends to be how you live. You do things out of obligation and fear of judgment, fear of ridicule. But really, it's time to stop judging yourself. Look in the mirror and find all the things that are beautiful about your soul. So as you're looking in this mirror, you're not looking at your physical appearance, not yet. What you're doing is you're seeing your soul, the naked truth of who you are. Find that place within where you see your divinity. Your eyes are the window to your soul, so look at yourself deep in the eyes. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but do it anyway. It's also time for you to get your emotional and mental state in order. You've been fluttering around, floating around, going, moving, doing for others that you often forget about you. You put yourself second, third, fourth, but most often last. It's time for you to step up and serve you, because if you don't serve you, no one else will, because no one else can. Everyone is following your lead, your guidance. You are the example. You are what people see. You are their teacher on how to treat you. I'm also being told to tell you it's time for you. So first, what they said, it's time for you to improve your diet, right? But what they're saying is it's time for increase. It's time for you to eat more. You haven't been eating enough and you haven't been getting enough nutrients, and it's hindering you in every way, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are already perfect. You do not have to become this idea, pillar, or vision of perfection. Who you are is perfect as you are. You're also being called to talk to and touch little girls, teenagers, 13, 12, 14, 16, 17, 15. It's time for you to show them the way to self-love. That's your purpose, that's your calling. But without you having that for self, it's a little tough, right? So the areas that you've struggled with or in are the areas where you're serving. The minute you make the choice to heal and release those things that prevent you from loving yourself fully, seeing yourself fully, and being yourself fully, that's when you're ready to fully be in your purpose and answer your calling. Yes, incorporating physical activity is a part of it too. You'll also be able to touch. Okay, so they said touch, but they also said talk to at the same time. You'll also be able to touch and talk to the mothers of these young girls so that you can help guide them on how to create positive body image within their daughters' souls. Talk to these mothers where their daughters are taught how they can embrace their inner divinity by first seeing their inner divinity. All the things that you did not feel you were given, you will be giving through your teachings, through your time, through your energy. But as long as you hang on to stagnant, toxic energy in areas of love, in areas of friendship, in areas of career, you will forever be pulling your way out. And what they're showing me is like someone attempting to pull themselves out of a grave. So it's like every time you scratch at the wall, it's dirt and it just kind of crumbles and you're overexerting, but you're not getting anywhere. You have power. Tap into it. Your lower chakras could use some work as well as your heart. Your throat chakra is not really blocked, it's chained. You'll oftentimes hold in your truth to keep the peace, but at the expense of your peace. Whose peace are you keeping? If you are not at peace, nothing is at peace. It is not your responsibility to create peace in another person. Every individual, every soul is responsible for their own peace. Okay, that sounds weird, but I'm going to say it. You cannot create peace no more for another person than you can for the man in the moon. It's time for you to soar. Take a rest from your day to day. You have been guarded. It's time for you to put your guard down. It's time for you to know that it's safe for you to trust. It's time for you to connect to your own inner GPS. Lacey, why have you been so afraid? Even more afraid lately than ever before. What are you fearing? Is it because your soul knows the time has come to awaken? Is it because your soul knows the time has come to shift? It's time for you to release that fear. That fear is what keeps you stuck, and it's time for you to allow yourself to move into this next phase. What did she say? The net, the wings, they will appear. We are your net. We are your wings. We will not let you fail. Don't believe in the things you were taught to believe about yourself. They're not true. You get to decide. Who are you choosing to be? We're really going to stress the fact that it's time for you to eat more. It's time for you to be healthy, balanced, creating peace through balance. Your mind is ready to release and heal. Your heart is ready. It's detrimental to your soul at this time. You have called. It's time to answer. Now you have your purpose. It's clear. So now what? What are you waiting for? Move. You can be shown the way, but you must be open to receive. You must stop doubting in your connection. You have all been here before. You have all done this before. None of this is new. It's time for you to release attachment to the outcome. Let it go. Let them go. Let him go. It's time for you to be true to yourself. We are not here to create suffering in your life. So why are you still creating? It's time for you to see your worth. Look in the mirror. Do the work. You're so busy helping uplift others, you forget you. Why? Who taught you to do that? Where did you learn that nasty habit of believing that you were not worthy of your own love and time, affection, and attention? You cannot pull yourself out until you face it, until you heal it, until you release it. You have so much learning to do. Yet you've done so much learning, and we're so proud. So don't stop. Your soul's ready to evolve. Okay. So they told me to pull from the butterfly deck. Okay, so what message do you have for Lacey? What message do you have for Lacey? Ooh, are both? Okay. Relationship dynamics and finances. Did y'all not just see me shuffle? Okay, so they said, yes, that message was for you as well as the collective, the message that came through before, as with these two cards. But what they're telling me to tell you, Lacey, is your relationship with self, right? Your relationship with self is what's attracting your relationships with others. And all of this is affecting your abundance. It's time for you to make these shifts. It's time for you to make these changes. It's time for you to have trust and faith. And it's time for you to do whatever you're called to do to get to, they said, to get yourself to that place of healing. It's time. So here's what you're being called to do. Get creative, be guided, be in flow. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't doubt yourself. See yourself as you are, worthy, whole, complete, the divine having a human experience. And they just told me to tell you to eat more living foods. I don't know what's going on with your eating, but they keep stressing this. Okay, they keep saying disorder, disorder, disorder. So, and I'm going to leave it there because that's what I'm being called to do. Is there anything else for Lacey? I love when they do that. When they go, nope, that's all. Tell her or tell him or tell them. What they're telling me to tell you is to breathe. And what they're saying is this message just opened up a layer of your soul. Like right now in the back, the heart chakra, there's activity and it's in the back, right? At first I felt it in the front. So this just opened you, right? It opened your soul another layer. But now it's time for you to make that step, right? It's time for you to take that action, to do the things that just came through for you. Okay, they said that's all. Thank her. I was going to thank her. I always thank everybody for allowing me to serve. Well, they said that is all, and I'm being directed to thank you. So thank you for allowing me to serve you. Please let me know how that resonated. Oh, my goodness. So let's see. TK said, limitless, Lacey. Also, as I'm like coming down from the connection, I'm feeling a bit of exhaustion, right? And part of, not my own, like I'm still connected to your energy. So this is a message that I'm receiving through that feeling. What I'm being told is this is partially why they are stressing that you eat more because energetically, like physically energetically, right? First, but then also it's affecting you energetically, right? So it's really important that there's balance, right? Balance. And they're also saying variety, variety, allowing your soul to be your guide, even with your food. And this has come up a lot, that whole intuitive eating, right? And the exercise that has been given. And anybody can do this and test it. So you can see how your body will guide you on everything. But go to the grocery store, pick up your produce one at a time, see how you feel, right? And then do the same thing like in the processed foods aisle or, whatever the case may be. If you are someone who drinks cow's milk, right? What I'm being told to tell you to do is go to the aisle and this is for all of us, right? Go to the aisle and hold the cow's milk and see how you feel. And then hold like a nut milk, I'm corny, almond milk, cashew milk, whatever nut milk you like to drink, and see how you feel, right? And compare the two and allow your body, which is connected to your soul, to guide you. So it's time for us to really be intuitive with everything, including our eating, okay? So Cheryl said, these readings are deep. Woo! So it is. Spirit is coming through, coming through. So I am waiting for you, Lacey, to let me know how it resonated. So I'm going to disconnect while I wait, and then I'm going to pull us another card as a collective, and then I'll get into Michonne's general. And if there's anyone else on that would like a mini read, please let me know. And which deck? Okay, I'm going to use that one. So I'm disconnecting from Lacey's energy spirit. And the spirit says she's processing. She's processing. Okay. You can also do that. Awesome. Aberdis said, I felt this reading. Awesome. Awesome. That how I'm. So what I'm doing is disconnecting from the energy within the heart chakra that I felt, Lacey, connected to your energy. So that's something you can do as well to help release, right? To help release. Oh, thank you so much. Cheryl said, I love your live streams, Nahkila. They're awesome. Thank you so much. And I love doing this with y'all. I do. It's like the highlight of my week. And it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to pull that number up. Spirit is saying to do that as our collective message. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So what is 400? Let's see what that is, angel number. So whenever you're looking to find the messages, just put in the number and then angel number in Google and go with the first one you feel led to click on. Personally, I use Joanne Sacred Scribes most often, unless Spirit guides me to use a different one, but most often that's the one. So it says number 400, and this is for us, is a blend of the attributes and energies of number 4 and number 0, with number 0 appearing twice, amplifying the vibrations of both number 4 and number 0. Number 4 encourages diligence and determination to achieve goals, practicality and application, hard work, responsibility, traditional values, patience, honesty, integrity, and inner wisdom. Number 4 also relates to our passion and drive and the energies of the archangels. Number 0 carries the influence of the God force and universal energies and relates to developing one's spiritual aspects and is considered to represent the beginning of a spiritual journey and highlights the uncertainties that may entail. And this part is highlighted. Angel number 400 is a powerful message that the angels are seeing ideas, thoughts, and promptings which are directing the next steps along your divine life path and soul mission in highlight. This hard work, patience, determined will, and effort you have put towards living your personal truths and attaining your goals are being applauded by the spiritual realm. You are encouraged to keep up the great work you have been doing as it is in alignment with your divine life purpose. Take time out to still the mind and meditate in order to receive clear, divine, and angelic guidance. Angel number 400 is a message from the angels to keep up the great work you have been doing. This hard work you have been toiling at has brought you to where you are today, serving your soul mission with passion, confidence, and enthusiasm. And what I'm being told to say is, even if you don't feel like you're serving your mission, as you are going through life, you are serving your mission because every experience is leading you to where you are actually in the act of serving. So by agreeing to this life, that is a part of you serving. So funny because it's saying this page is unresponsive. So it's not going to allow us to go down past a certain point unless Spirit clears this up before we get there. But if not, that's what serves our highest good. And look, it did. Awesome. Thank you, Spirit. Angel number 400 is a message from the angels. Okay, wait. Did we do that part? Okay. That's so funny because it literally jumped up. Okay, but let's make it to where I can read the part, or is this what you like me to read? Okay, thank you. So, angel number 400 is a message from the angels to keep up the great work that you have been doing. The hard work you have been toiling at has brought you to where you are today, serving your soul mission with passion, confidence, and enthusiasm. You are being surrounded and loved by the spiritual realm and universal energies, and they are sending you positive energies and helping you along your path. Know that you are well blessed. Okay, let's go ahead and move it so I can read the next part, please. Does it serve our highest good to get that part? Let me know, because thank you. All right, a little more. Thank you. Okay, good. So, angel number 400 indicates that you are protected, safe, and well loved. Your angels ask that you take a moment to reflect upon the unconditional love and take it within so that you are able to reflect it outwards. You have been diligently building a solid foundation, and the work and effort you have put towards achieving your goals and aspirations will see you reaping your desired results. You have it within you to overcome any obstacle you may encounter along your path. And so it is. There it goes. And literally, you guys, it was loading where I couldn't move the screen, right? And Spirit made it happen. So I'm being told to tell you that this occurs so that you can see your power. It's like when my mom and I were at that Mexican restaurant in Chattanooga, and I got hot all of a sudden, and I was like, "Ooh, I got hot." And then I was like, "Spirit is hot." And then the wind started blowing. I'm like, "Mom, you feel that?" But where she was sitting, she couldn't feel it. Where I was sitting, it was up against my back. So I'm like, "Okay, Spirit, let's show her, right?" And then I'm like, "Okay, make it blow harder." And then it blows where she's looking at the paper now. She sees it moving. I'm like, "Okay, now softer." And then it'll go soft. I'm like, "Okay, now." And I was going back and forth. And so it was pretty cool experience me and my mom shared. So Spirit is just telling us to own our power because we're powerful. Even in the things that feel and seem like we have no power, we do, right? It's all about intention, and the universe responds to what we believe after we speak the intentions. If I believe that I have the ability to connect with Spirit and ask Spirit to make this electronic thing work, Spirit will deliver, right? So Spirit is saying, you are powerful, know your power. So let's see. Lacey said, OMG, yes, thank you so much. I have so many emotions right now. I feel like my life just changed forever. I can't wait to listen to it again. So deep, definitely processing. You are so welcome. And thank you. Thank you. I can feel your emotions. I can feel them. So thank you. Thank you so much. Spirit said, now act upon what you receive. Don't allow yourself to convince you out of it. Your ego self. Allow your soul to be your guide. Okay. So I am connecting with, let's see, Lacey said, I'm seriously in a loss for words right now. I'm bawling my eyes out. When Spirit said you were processing, I knew you were crying. So yes, feel it, because through that, you're releasing, right? You're releasing, just release all that, release it, just release it. You know, don't stop the tears. Don't shorten the cry. Even if you cry for an hour, just release all that that's choosing to leave you right now, right? Just release it all. Release it all. Thank you so much. So, see, this is why I love the work that I do. It's just so rewarding, right? It's so rewarding. There's really no better feeling than to assist in transformation and assist others with recognizing their inner divinity, right? And just their power, you know? And we're all here to do that. We're all here to do that. So, now I am disconnected from, well, I was already disconnected from Lacey's energy, but just from, I'm connecting to Michonne's energy now. So what message do you have from Michonne, Spirit? What message do you have from Michonne? Okay, instantly I heard, if it ain't live, it ain't me. I heard that instantly. So what is that all about, Spirit? Ooh. Okay, so there's a few things coming through. Okay, also, Michonne, what's going on with your back? It's like, it's not right at the heart chakra. It's like, let me see, where is this? It's like, I don't know if I can even really show you where it is. See, wait, my arm's in the way. It's like right cross, kind of. It's not like even at the bra strap, it's a little lower. What is that all about? Because there's a few things coming through. What was coming through is the whole mediocre thing. If it's not extraordinary, release it, right? That's experiences in life, right? Also, what I'm being told to tell you is to get excited, right? Get excited about this up level you have had in the next phase, right? Get excited about your products. Allow spirit to guide you in creating, allow spirit to guide you in it all, and just allow yourself to feel that energy of greatness, right? If it does not feel like greatness, do not engage. If it does not feel like it is serving a purpose or it is influencing me to be better, do not engage, right? And it's coming through like if someone were about to like hit a bomb, right? And a missile, and spirit is like, do not engage, right? Like the message came through like, we're about to push this button and blow everything up. And then it's like this urgent, like, do not engage, do not engage. That's how it's coming through. It's urgent for you to make sure that you are surrounded by high vibe individuals, right? High vibe individuals on your level or above. This is so important and key for where you are on your path right now and where you're going, right? Now, this is your personal circle, right? Now, of course, as you're serving, you may find that oftentimes you are in the position of the higher vibe, right? And even in serving, right? Even though you're serving, sometimes those roles can reverse where they can vibe, right? They can vibe higher and they can serve you. But in general, in your personal life, what spirit is saying is that whole concept is if you are the smartest, right? We ain't talking about brains, we're talking about energetically, right? In the room, then you are in the wrong room. And I know that's not how it goes, but that's how they put it through. That's how they put it through. They just said, let's talk about your love life. It's time for you to appreciate what you have just a little bit more. Anything you are not pleased with, it's time to make changes. Start with the changes within you, right? And then after you change, then start reflecting on how the situation, the relationship as a whole can change. You have elevated so much, but don't neglect the things that are important to you, your soul. And what they're saying is, as you are in this flow, do not become a workaholic. Sometimes we have this energy about us to where it's all or nothing, but it's not in the sense of when we say that, yeah, all or nothing is sometimes a good thing, right? Sometimes it's not, because sometimes everything is not cut and dry, black and white. Sometimes it's, Spirit says be all in. And sometimes Spirit says, okay, right here, be a little here, but be a little here. This is how it's coming through. What else? It's time for you to be all in 100% for you and to you, right? All versions, all aspects of you, mind, body, soul, spirit, human self. But don't give in to your human hangups. So you were explaining something and then it went away. So will you bring that back, please? Mishan, it's time for you to uncover and discover the depths of your soul. How? Okay, so did you do that conversation? The one you were called to have? Did you send that energy first? And I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to get on top of the things that you're being guided to do. Follow the blueprint that Spirit has created for I'm hearing your future and your soul. But at first they said your soul first. Like, okay, it's weird. They didn't say it, but I felt it. I don't even know how to explain it. Soul first, but then when they spoke it, they spoke future first. And then soul second. So what they're saying is basically those two things. It's equal, right? They're connected. They're one. You also have friendships that have expired. It's time for you to release them and move on. Some of these relationships with family are meant to be experienced at a distance. You also have healing hands. So just make sure with everything you do, everything you create, everything you touch, that you're sending that healing, that love, and that light. Also be mindful of your words because your tongue cuts like a sword. Sometimes you're doing it because you're just not mindful, but it's time for you to hold yourself accountable, almost like a cuss jar. Get yourself something that holds you accountable. Give others permission to hold you accountable. And they said to check you. Also, it's time for you to dance more. And I'm literally hearing Ring Around the Rosies, right? That song. And so what they're telling me is it's time for you. They're saying for you as an adult to go dancing, but they're also saying like your inner child, dancing more with your inner child. Through your inner child connection, you are going to find creative ways to speak to the souls of you, of those you're called to serve. Now, here's the thing. They also said speak to the soul of you. So we're not going to ignore that. There are no mistakes. So in your creative process, allow your inner child to help guide you. And they're saying, what does every little girl want to be when they grow up? A princess, a superhero. And they're saying, like a She-Ra, a Wonder Woman, a queen, a mom. It differs for and from everyone. But your inner child will be able to connect to the energies of the inner child of those you're called to serve and will guide you on how to create things that speak to their inner child, to help their inner child heal. The colors, the fragrance. Also, what does every little boy? A superhero. They said sometimes even a princess. He-Man, a scholar, a firefighter, a policeman. Like they're just going through all these things, right? And basically what the message is by connecting to your inner child, allowing your inner child to be a part of the creative process, it's going to help you speak to the unhealed part of those you're called to serve. And then your products can provide the healing. And then they said, don't be so rigid. Ruffles have ridges, not you. Be in flow. You've been doing such an amazing job. You've been taking it seriously and you've been working your magic. So now it's time to release. So they said now it's time to work on the release, but then you see what just came out. So see, and it's time for you to be courageous in your pursuits. Have those difficult conversations and don't fold. Don't hinder your growth and development by people pleasing. And those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. Now, we're not saying that people don't matter. What we're saying is they don't matter to your bigger scheme of things, your life's journey, your mission, your soul mission. You have all the power it takes to create this beautiful world that you've seen for yourself. Also, dream bigger. You've been cutting your dreams off at the knees. See your dreams as big as your soul desires. Because you are here, you were born for greatness. Remove the limitations. You carry them like shackles. You're going through the motions, you're doing the work, you're taking action. But what good is the effort if you don't allow yourself to fully receive because of mental limitations? Believe in the power of your dreams just a little bit more. Inflate them just a little bit more, and then surrender. There's no need to worry. Just trust. You have something in your spine that's ready to awaken. Kundalini is ready to rise. Don't fight against it. Don't force it. Just flow. Now, when this happens, you may feel even more disconnected. I'm hearing to and from the outside world. This will pass. As that disconnect occurs, just making space and room for the connections that serve your highest good in the now. How are you holding yourself back and why? This is something I'd like you to ask yourself, ask your soul, journal about it, bring it to your next group session. You guys will break it down and focus on healing that. Okay, they said, okay, tell her to wait for it. And then they told me to pull a card. They're being weird. Okay, this is from Michonne. Ooh, which one? Oh, look at that. That one. Flip right on up. And they said to take that one. Oh, and then the bottom too. Oh, look at that. So you got promise and celebration. And look what she's doing. She's dancing. And then here's the thing, new moon and dance. Oh, wait, the card says dance. I didn't even see that. Oh, I'm like, look at what she's doing. Well, duh, the card says dance. I'm just seeing the celebration. So don't mind me, y'all. Don't mind me. Okay, so new moon promise. What is this whole promise thing? You were promised rewards. You were promised happiness. You were promised abundance. You were promised bliss when you agreed to enter. So what you're being told is to allow yourself to accept the blessings that you were promised as a trade for doing this work. Your mind cannot comprehend what you are, I'm hearing, up against to receive. And the reason they're saying up against to receive is because until you release your minimal thinking of your dreams, you are standing up against that doorway that is opening you up to this vast world of abundance, right? And again, it's all areas. So part of when you're dancing, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to release thought. You're allowing yourself to release anything that can hinder your ability to trust and know, right, that you're worthy of having this promise executed. Some of us, we come and we don't require much when we set the terms of our agreement, right? Some of our souls are just like, I'm happy with a little cottage on the beach or in the woods, right? And some of us are like, look, spirit, I'm looking to have a happy marriage. I'm choosing to have wealth. I'm choosing to have friendships, celebrations, right? You're one of those souls that had this big list of, if I do this, this is what I'm choosing in return. And Spirit said yes, right? So now Spirit is saying it's time for you to remember that agreement and get out of your way. Anything else? Spirit said, no, tell me, Sean, to keep going and do not fall. Do not fall. Do not fall. And as I'm receiving do not fall, what they're saying is the fall comes when you create an obstacle, right? While you're running, you're building momentum, and you create an obstacle and you stumble over it and you fall. If you just don't create obstacles, you won't fall, right? Keep running, keep going, keep trusting, keep believing in yourself and in your dreams. Okay, and they said that's it. So that's your message, Michonne. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. And now I'm not going to do what they told you to bring the group session. That's going to be totally up to you to remind me. I'll release it and let it go. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. If only you knew, though, I'm actually really, really weird. Let's see. TK says sounds about Michonne live and direct. So yeah, and I don't know if Michonne is still on, but she'll get on and watch the replay. So is there anyone else on who is doing a mini read? And there are still some people over on Facebook. Thank you so much, Diamond, for directing them to join us on YouTube. Hi, Renee. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have a question or would like a mini reading, please come and join us over on YouTube. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Diamond. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Is this Diamond or Tia Lynn, or are y'all doubling up, working together? Are y'all doing this together? Because I appreciate you. So Oh, Shamika said, I am so glad I stayed. The messages coming through just been hitting left and right. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. And now when you go meditate, Spirit's going to give you that uppercut to make it even. Oh man, and as that was coming through, I'm seeing you like, you know how in the cartoons when somebody get punched uppercut, they like fly up, right? But as you fly, you're gonna be like, wee, I kind of like it up here. So now I'm just gonna fly, right? That's how it's coming through. So I'm grateful you stayed on too. Thank you, thank you. So it doesn't look like anybody else would like a mini reading. So I'm going to I'm going to check on Alatha because I was going to say, in honor of Alatha, I'm going to pull a charm. So let me disconnect from Ishan's energy so the charm won't be hers and hers alone. Also, 616. We have 6 people on and 16 likes. Thank you so much, you guys. If you feel led, look up the number 616. There's a message there for us. And also, if this resonated, please make sure you share the video. It's through your shares that we're able to build the community, through your shares, through your likes, through your comments, not just on the lives, but even on the videos that aren't live, the pre-recorded ones also. Okay, so what message do you have for us as a collective spirit? First of all, I just heard release and shine, and then we have the turtle. And Spirit is saying slow and steady wins the race. And that's coming through as opposed to rushing and then stopping. You know how some people build great momentum, okay, let's just talk about the gym, right? If you get on that treadmill and you just start running at top speed, full speed, how long can you do that? And especially if you haven't worked out in a while, right? You just get on there, you start running, you might even fall and bust your chin, knock out a few teeth, right? But if you just start, right? And go ahead and start where you are. And then just gradually, right? Gradually. And then eventually you will be running. And when you're running, you've got that conditioning going on that you're going to be able to maintain. And Spirit is saying it's all about the maintenance, right? It's all about maintaining, right? It doesn't serve our highest good to heal, release, elevate, grow, only to fall backwards. It's all in the maintenance, right? That's where the magic happens, in the maintenance. So when you're in those periods of being tested, understand that you're being tested. Don't allow those tests to make you either go run till you fall or just get off altogether. Just keep building that momentum. Slow and steady wins the race. Why I run like that when I'm doing a fake run? It's weird, huh? But that's what we got. Oh, and then as I look down, this one was facing up and Spirit said to show it. That balance, that creating balance in our lives. Everything is about balance. Balance is key, right? And also, there's a little part of you in everyone, and there's a little part of everyone in you. So just remember that as you're moving forward in life and remembering that whole thing that came through for us before about everyone being our mirror, right? And us being their mirror. And so by them being our mirror, they're teaching us, they're showing us, they're growing us. Therefore, no matter what the experience feels like to the ego, we can show gratitude, right? And because we're holding a mirror to them and they either appreciate, accept it, and it allows them to connect to their divine selves, right? And they're grateful, right? Or whether they see something that they don't like, and they project. Spirit is reminding us that it's not about us, it's about them, right? When we see them, we see us. And when they see us, they see themselves. So Spirit is just telling us to shift how we view our connections to others, right? Shift it. Less judgment of self, less judgment of others, less judgment of the world. Just do what we signed up to do. And worry about yourself. That's what Spirit said to all of us. I don't even remember where that was from, but it came through like that. And worry about yourself. So that's our message, you guys. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl said you have 17 likes now. Shamika said, I forgot to tell you, look beautiful today. Love the summer dress. Oh, thank you so much. And guess what? This is a skirt. It's actually a skirt. But, and it's like it's like poofy and stuff. It's a skirt, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna wear it as a dress. And these are the earrings that I bought from our sister in light, Ray. They're super lightweight. I did the video on them. Peace of mind. You see how light they are? Like they're super light. So yeah, thank you so much for that. It's super comfy. But I'm about to go to the grocery store, with our siblings in light, Tealin and Diamond. And I will tell you, after Empower Hour, I'd be changing because I'm going to change out of this and put on something else. Something, something else. This comfortable, but I'm going to put on something else. I'm going to save this for something else. So, yeah. I almost feel like putting on workout clothes again because I almost went to the park and ran this morning for my cardio, but I went to the gym instead. And I kind of feel like possibly running later. So we'll see how I feel after the store. I just may do that. I just may go for a run, a jog, and a walk because I do both. I don't just straight up run, y'all. I ain't there yet. So anyways, you're so welcome. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you all for joining. Thank you guys that stayed on. Thank you for those of you that shared. And again, if the reading resonated with you, whether it was the general reading or a personal reading, go click the link in the description. Spiritual Awakening with Nahkila Isha is what it says in there, but I'll be changing it. When you click it, you'll see it now. It says Spiritual Awakening with AshworthScott Life Sculpting. Go leave a review and recommend the page, okay? We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I leave it with peace, love, bliss, gratitude, and abundance. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. TK said this was awesome. Grateful to you and the Soul Fam. I'm grateful for you too. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day, you guys.